Kareb Beruach, Sword of the Spirit. Interpreted and narrated by Wendy. Exodus, Chapter 1.
Now these are the names of the children of Yashareal, who came to Mitzrayim. Every man and his household came with Jacob: Reuben, Shimaun, Lehi, and Yehuda, Yeshachar, Zebulun, and Binyamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Therefore all the souls who came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Yusuf was in Mitzrayim already. Then Yusuf died, and all his brethren, and all that generation. But the children of Yashareal were fruitful, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and became extremely great. Therefore the land was filled with them. Now there rose up a new king over Mitzrayim, who did not know Yusuf. And he said to his people, Behold, the people of the descendants of Yashareal are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, or else they will multiply. And it will come to pass that when war falls out, they will unite with our enemies also, and they will fight against us, and ascend out of the land. Therefore they set taskmasters over them to afflict them with their burdens. And they built treasure cities for Paro, Pitam, and Raamases. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Yashareal. Therefore the Mitzrayim made the descendants of Yashareal to serve with rigor. Also they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service in which they made them serve was with rigor. Furthermore, the king of Mitzrayim spoke to the Aiberi midwives, of which the name of one was Shipra, and the name of the other Pua. And he said, When you do the office of a midwife to the Aiberi women, and see them upon the stools, if it is a son, then you will kill him. But if it is a daughter, then she will live. However, the midwives revered Elohim, and did not do as the king of Mitzrayim commanded them, and they saved the male children alive. Therefore the king of Mitzrayim called for the midwives and asked of them, Why have you done this thing, and have saved the male children alive? So the midwives answered Paro, Because the Aiberi women are not as the Mitzri women, for they are lively, and are delivered before the midwives come in unto them. Therefore Elohim dealt well with the midwives. Also the people multiplied and became very great. And it came to pass, because the midwives revered Elohim, that he made them houses. Moreover, Paro charged all his people, saying, Every son who is born unto you will be cast into the river, but every daughter you will save alive.
Chapter 2.
And a man from the house of Lehi went and took a daughter of Lehi. Then the woman conceived and bore a son, and she saw his goodliness. Therefore she hid him for 3 moons. However, when she could not hide him any longer, then she took for him an ark of bulrushes. Moreover, she daubed it with tar and pitch. Then she put the child in it, and laid it in the reeds by the bank of the river. Furthermore, his sister stood from afar, to know what would be done to him. Then the daughter of Paro came down to wash in the river, and her maidens walked upon the side of the river, And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. Moreover, when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. Therefore she had compassion upon him, and said, "This is one of the Aibrim lads." Then his sister asked Paro's daughter, "Should I go and call a nurse for you of the Aibri women, that she may nurse the child for you?" Therefore Paro's daughter answered her, "Go." Then the maid went and called the mother of the child. Then Paro's daughter said to her, "Take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give you wages." Therefore the woman took the child and nursed him. Thus the lad was grown. So she brought him to Paro's daughter, and he became her son. Then she called his name Musha, to draw, and she said, "Because I drew him out of the water." And it came to pass, during the days when Musha was grown, that he went out to his brethren, and looked upon their burdens. And he spied a Mitzri striking an Aibri, one of his brethren. Then he looked this way and that way, and when he saw no man, he slew the Mitzri, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 of the Aibri men strove together. And unto him whom did the wrong he asked, "Why do you strike your fellow?" Therefore he replied, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you intend to kill me, as you did the Mitzri?" Then Musha feared and said, "Surely this thing is known." Now when Paro heard this thing, he sought to slay Musha. But Musha fled from the face of Paro, and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Furthermore, the priest of Midian had 7 daughters. Then they came and drew. Also they filled the troughs of water for their father's flock. But the shepherds came and drove them away. Therefore Musha stood up and helped them, and he watered their flock. Then when they came to the friend of Al, their father, he asked, "How have you come so soon today?" So they answered, "A Mitzri delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds. Also he drew enough for us and watered the flocks." Therefore he asked his daughters, "And where is he? Why is it that you have left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread." And Musha was content to dwell with the man. Furthermore, he gave Musha Zipporah, his daughter, and she bore a son, and he called his name Gershom, exiled people. For he said, "I have been driven out into a foreign land."
Chapter 3.
And it came to pass during the process of time that the king of Mitzrayim died, and the descendants of Yeshariel sighed because of the bondage, and they cried, and their cry went up to Elohim because of the bondage. Then Elohim heard their groaning. Moreover, Elohim remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Yitzhak, and with Jacob. And Elohim looked upon the children of Yeshariel, and Elohim knew. Now Musha kept the flock of Yitro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the wilderness. Then he came to the mountain of Elohim, unto Horeb. Furthermore, the angel of YHWH appeared to him in the flame of a fire out of the midst of a bush. Then he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, but the bush was not consumed. So Musha said, "Now I will turn aside and see this great sight. Why is the bush not burning?" And when YHWH saw that he turned aside to see, Elohim called out to him from the midst of the bush, and said, "Musha, Musha." And he answered, "Here I am." Then he said, "Do not approach near here. Take your shoes from off your feet, for the place on which you stand is holy Adama." Moreover, he said, "I am the Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob." Then Moshe hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon Elohim. And Yahuwah said, "Surely I have seen the affliction of my people, who are in Mitzrayim, and I have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. Therefore I am coming down to deliver them out of the hand of the Mitzrayim, and to bring them up out of that land, to a good and large land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaani, and the Hitti, and the Amori, and the Perizi, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi. Alas, behold, the cry of the children of Yeshariel has come to me. Also, I have seen the oppression in which the Mitzrayim oppress them. Therefore, come, and I will send you unto Paro, that you may bring forth my people, the descendants of Yeshariel, out of Mitzrayim." However, Moshe asked of Elohim, "Who am I, that I should go to Paro, and that I should bring forth the children of Yeshariel out of Mitzrayim?" Then he answered, "Surely I will be with you, and this will be a sign for you, that I have sent you. When you have brought forth the people out of Mitzrayim, you will serve Elohim upon this mount." Then Moshe said to Elohim, "Behold, if I come to the children of Yeshariel, and say to them, the Elohim of your fathers has sent me to you, then they will ask of me, what is his name? What should I say to them?" Therefore Elohim answered Moshe, "I am who I am." Moreover, he said, "Thus you will say to the children of Yeshariel, Aya, I am, has sent me to you." Furthermore, Elohim said to Moshe, "Thus you will say to the children of Yeshariel, Yahuwah, he exists, Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all generations. Go and gather the elders of Yeshariel together. Then you will say to them, Yahuwah, the Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, of Yitzhak, and of Jacob appeared to me, saying, Surely I have visited you, and that which is done to you in Mitzrayim. Therefore I have said, I will bring you up out of the affliction of Mitzrayim to the land of the Canaani, and the Hitti, and the Amori, and the Perizi, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi, to a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will hearken to your voice. Also, you and the elders of Yeshariel will go to the king of Mitzrayim. Then you will say to him, Yahuwah, Elohim of the Aibrim, has met with us. Now let us go, we beseech you, 3 days' journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice unto Yahuwah, our Elohim. But I am sure that the king of Mitzrayim will not let you go, no, not by a strong hand. Therefore I will stretch out my hand and strike the Mitzrayim with all my wonders, which I will do in the midst of it. Then, after that, he will let you go. Also, I will give this people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim, and it will come to pass that when you go, you will not go empty. Then every woman will ask of her neighbor, and her who sojourns in her house, jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and garments. And you will put them upon your sons and upon your daughters. Thus you will plunder the Mitzrayim. However, Moshe replied and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken to my voice. For they will say, Yahuwah has not appeared to you. Therefore Yahuwah asked of him, What is that in your hand? And he answered, A rod. Then he said, Cast it upon the ground. So he cast it upon the ground, and it became a serpent. Therefore Moshe fled from before it. Furthermore, Yahuwah said to Moshe, Put forth your hand and take it by the tail. So he put forth his hand and caught it. Then it became a rod in his hand. This is for the purpose that they will believe us when we appear unto you. Yahuwah, Elohim of their fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob. Moreover, Yahuwah said to him, Now put your hand into your bosom. Therefore he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous like snow. Then he said, Put your hand into your bosom again. So he put his hand into his bosom again. Also he pulled it out of his bosom. Then behold, it returned like his other flesh. Therefore, if it shall come to pass, they will not believe you, nor hearken to the call of the first sign. Then they might believe the call of the latter sign. And if it shall come to pass, they will not believe the second sign also, nor hearken to your call. Then you will take from the water of the river, and pour it upon the dry ground. Thus the water which you will take out of the river will become blood upon the dry ground. Then Moshe said to Yahuwah, O Adonai, I am not eloquent now, before now, nor since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue. Therefore Yahuwah asked him, Who has made Adam's mouth? Or who makes the dumb, or the deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Am I not he who exists? Now therefore go, and I will be your mouth, and teach you what you will say. Then he said, Excuse me, Adonai. Send, I pray you, in your hand. You send. Therefore the anger of Yahuwah was kindled against Moshe, and he asked, Is not Aharon the Lehi your brother? I know that he can speak well. Also, behold, he comes forth to meet you, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart. Thus you will speak to him and put words in his mouth. So I will be with your mouth and with his mouth, and I will teach you what to do. And he will be a spokesman to the people. Therefore he will be a mouth for you, and you will be a deity for him. Furthermore, you will take this rod in your hand. With it you will do signs.
Chapter 4.
And Moshe went and returned to Yithro his father-in-law. Then he said to him, I pray you, let me go and return to my brethren who are in Mitzrayim, and see if they are still alive. Therefore Yithro said to Moshe, Go in peace. And Yahuwah said to Moshe in Midian, Go return into Mitzrayim, for all the men who sought your life are dead. So Moshe took his wife and his children. Also he set them upon an ass. Then he returned to the land of Mitzrayim, and Moshe took the rod of Elohim in his hand. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, When you go to return into Mitzrayim, show all these wonders that I have put in your hand, and do them before Paro. However, I will harden his heart. Therefore, he will not let the people go. Yet you will say to Paro, Thus saith YHWH, Yeshariel is my son, my firstborn. Furthermore, say of yours, Let my son go, that we may serve. But if she refuses to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, your firstborn. Therefore it came to pass along the way, in the encampment, that YHWH met her, and required his death. Therefore Zipporah, bird, took a sharp stone, and cut off the foreskin of her son. Then she cast it to his feet, and said, Surely you are a bloody bridegroom to me. Then he withdrew from him. Moreover, she said, A bloody bridegroom to whom you circumcise. Furthermore, YHWH said to Aharon, Go into the wilderness to meet Musha. So he went and met him in the mount of Elohim, and he kissed him. Then Musha told Aharon all the words of YHWH, who had sent him, and all the signs, which he had commanded him. Therefore Musha and Aharon went, and they gathered together all the elders of the children of Yeshariel. And Aharon, light-bearer, spoke all the words which YHWH had spoken to Musha, and he did the signs in the sight of the people. Therefore the people believed, and when they heard that he who exists had visited the children of Yeshariel, and that he looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped.
Chapter 5.
And afterward Musha and Aharon went in and told Paro, Thus saith YHWH, Elohim of Yeshariel, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. However, Paro asked, Who is YHWH, that I should obey his voice, to let Yeshariel go? I do not know YHWH, nor will I let Yeshariel go. Then they replied, The Elohim of the Aibrim has met with us. We pray you, let us go a journey of 3 days into the wilderness. Then we will sacrifice unto YHWH, our Elohim, lest he meet us by word or by sword. But the king of Mitzrayim asked of them, Why have you, Musha and Aharon, allowed the people from their work? Get yourselves to your burdens. Moreover, Paro said, Behold now, the people from the land are many, and you make them rest from their burdens. Therefore, that same day, Paro commanded the taskmasters of the people and of their officers, saying, You will not give the people straw to make brick any more, like before. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. However, the quota of bricks, which they made before, you will lay upon them, and you will not diminish it, for they are idle. Therefore they cry, saying, Let us go sacrifice to our Elohim. Let more work be laid upon the mortals, that they may labor in it. And let them not regard vain words. Then the taskmasters of the people and their officers went out, and they spoke to the people, saying, Thus saith Paro, I will not give you straw. You go get your straw, wherever you can find it, but your work will not be diminished. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Mitzrayim to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hastened, saying, Fulfill your workings and daily tasks, as when there was straw. Also the officers of the children of Yeshariel, who Paro's taskmasters had set over them, were beaten, demanding, Why have you not fulfilled your task in making brick, both yesterday and today, as before? Then the officers of the children of Yeshariel came and cried unto Paro, asking, Why do you deal with your servants like this? There is no straw given to your servants, yet they say to us, 'Make brick.' And behold, your servants are beaten. But the fault is in your own people." Then he answered, "Surely you are idle. Therefore you say, 'Let us go do a sacrifice unto YHWH.' And now, go, work, for straw will not be given. However, you will deliver the quota of bricks." Then the officers of the children of Yeshariel saw that they were in trouble after it was said, "You will not diminish your daily task of bricks." Furthermore, they met Musha and Aharon, who stood in the way, as they came forth from Paro. Therefore they said to them, "YHWH look upon you and judge, because you have made our scent to become a stench in the eyes of Paro and in the eyes of his servants. A sword has been put in their hand to slay us."
Chapter 6.
And Musha returned unto YHWH. Then he asked, "Adonai, why is this trouble against your people? Why is it that you have sent me? For since I came unto Paro to speak in your name, he has done wickedness against this people, and you have not delivered your people." Then YHWH answered Musha, "Now you will see what I will do to Paro, for by a strong hand he will let you go, and with a strong hand he will drive them out of his land." Moreover, Elohim spoke to Musha and said to him, "I am YHWH. However, I appeared to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob as El Shaddai. But by my name YHWH I was not known to them. Also, I have established my covenant with them, to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, in which they sojourned. Furthermore, I have heard the groaning of the children of Yeshariel, whom the Mitzrim keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Therefore, say to the children of Yeshariel, I am YHWH, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim, and I will rid you out of their bondage. Also, I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. Furthermore, I will take you unto myself as a people, and I will be unto you an Elohim, and you will know that I am he who exists, your Elohim, who brings you out from under the burdens of the Mitzrayim. Then I will bring you into the land of which I swore my hand would give to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, and I will give it to you for an inheritance. I am YHWH. Therefore Musha spoke this to the children of Yeshariel, but they did not hearken to Musha, because of the anguish of spirit, and because of cruel bondage. Then YHWH spoke to Musha, saying, Go in, speak to Paro, king of Mitzrayim, that he let the children of Yeshariel go out of his land. Thus Musha spoke before YHWH, saying, Behold, the children of Yeshariel have not hearkened to me. How then will Paro hear me, who is of uncircumcised lips? Therefore YHWH spoke to Musha and to Aharon, and he commanded unto the children of Yeshariel and of Paro, king of Mitzrayim, to send the children of Yeshariel from the land of Mitzrayim. These are the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Yeshariel, was Chenok, then Palua, Chetzron, and Carmi. These are the families of Reuben. And the sons of Shimaun were Yemuel, and Yamin, and Ahad, and Yakin, and Zohar, and the son of the Canaanite woman, Shaul. These are the families of Shimaun. And these are the names of the sons of Lehi, according to their generations were Gershom, and Kehat, and Me'ari. Thus the years of the life of Lehi were 137 years. The sons of Gershon were Libni and Shimi according to their families. And the sons of Kehat were Amram and Yitzhar and Hebron and Auziel. Thus the years of the life of Kehat were 133 years. And the sons of Ma'ari were Malki and Mushi. These are the families of Lehi, according to their generations. Furthermore, Amram took Jochebed, his father's sister, to wife, and she bore him Aharun and Moshe. Thus the years of the life of Amram were 137 years. And the sons of Yitzhar were Kerach and Nepeg and Zikri. And the sons of Auziel were Mishaal and Alitzapan and Sitri. Moreover, Aharun took Elisheba, daughter of Animadab, sister of Nachshun, to wife, and she bore him Nadab and Abihua, Alazer, and Aitmar. And the sons of Korach were Asir and Elkanah and Abiasap. These are the families of the Korachi. Also, Alazer, Aharun's son, took from the daughters of Putial to wife, and she bore him Pinachas. These are the heads of the founders of Lehi, according to their families. Them, Aharun and Moshe, are who YHWH said, "Bring out the children of Yeshariel from the land of Mitzrayim, according to their armies." These are who spoke to Paro, king of Mitzrayim, to bring the children of Yeshariel out of Mitzrayim. Them, Moshe and Aharun.
Chapter 7.
And it came to pass on the day YHWH spoke to Moshe in the land of Mitzrayim, that YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, "I am YHWH, speak to Paro, king of Mitzrayim, all that I say to you." Therefore Moshe spoke before YHWH, "Behold, I have uncircumcised lips, so why would Paro hearken unto me?" Then YHWH said to Moshe, "Behold, I have made you a deity unto Paro, and Aharun, your brother, is your prophet. You will speak all that I command you. And Aharun, your brother, will speak to Paro, that he send the children of Yeshariel out of his land. However, I will harden Paro's heart. Then I will multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore Paro will not hearken to you, that I may lay my hand upon Mitzrayim. Then I will bring forth my armies, my people, the descendants of Yeshariel, out from the land of Mitzrayim by great judgments. Furthermore, the Mitzrayim will know that I am he who exists, when I stretch forth my hand upon Mitzrayim, and bring out the children of Yeshariel from among them." Moreover, Moshe and Aharun did as YHWH commanded them. Thus they did. And Moshe was 80 years old, and Aharun was 83 years old when they spoke to Paro. Also YHWH spoke to Moshe and to Aharun, saying, "When Paro speaks to you, saying, 'Show a miracle for yourself,' then you will say to Aharun, 'Take your rod and cast it before Paro. It will become a serpent.'" Then Moshe and Aharun went in unto Paro, and they did so as YHWH commanded. Thus Aharun cast down his rod before Paro and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Therefore Paro called the wise men and the sorcerers as well. Now they, the magicians of Mitzrayim, did their enchantments in a similar manner also. Then every man cast down his rod, and they became serpents. But Aharun's rod swallowed up their rods. Therefore Paro's heart was hardened, and would not hearken unto them, as YHWH had spoken. And YHWH said to Moshe, Paro's heart is hardened. He refuses to let the people go. Go to Paro in the morning. Lo, he goes out to the water, and you will stand by the river's edge to meet him. Then in your hand you will take the rod that turned into a serpent. You will take it in your hand, and you will say to him, Yahweh Elohim of the Abiram has sent me to you, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, you would not hear until now. Thus saith Yahweh, in this you will know that I am he who exists. Behold, I will strike with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they will turn to blood. And the fish that are in the river will die. Then the river will stink. Therefore the Mitzrayim will loathe to drink the water of the river. Then Yahweh said to Moshe, Say to Aharon, Take your rod and stretch out your hand upon the waters of Mitzrayim, upon their streams, upon their rivers, upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there will be blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, and in the vessels of wood, and in the vessels of stone. Then Moshe and Aharon did so, as Yahweh commanded, and he lifted up the rod and struck the waters that were in the river, in the sight of Paro, and in the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river turned to blood. Furthermore, the fish that were in the river died, and the river stank, and the Mitzrayim could not drink the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. However, the magicians of Mitzrayim did so with their enchantments. Therefore Paro's heart hardened, and did not hearken unto them, as Yahweh had spoken. Then Paro turned and went into his house. His heart was not moved by this also. And all the Mitzrayim dug round about the river for water to drink, because they could not drink the water of the river.
Chapter 8.
And 7 days were fulfilled since Yahweh had smitten the river. Then Yahweh spoke to Moshe, Go to Paro and say to him, Thus saith Yahweh, Let my people go, that they may serve me. But if you refuse to let go, behold, I will strike all your borders with frogs. Therefore the river will bring forth frogs abundantly, which will go up and come into your house, and into your bedchamber, and upon your bed, and into the house of your servants, and upon your people, and into your ovens, and into your kneading troughs. Thus the frogs will come up both upon you, and upon your people, and upon all your servants. Then Yahweh spoke to Moshe, Say to Aharon, Stretch forth your hand with your rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause the frogs to come up upon the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore Aharon stretched out his hand over the waters of Mitzrayim. So the frogs came up and covered the land of Mitzrayim. Moreover, the magicians did so with their enchantments, and they brought up frogs upon the land of Mitzrayim. So Paro called for Moshe and Aharon. Then he said, Entreat Yahweh, that he may take away the frogs from me, and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may sacrifice unto Yahweh. Therefore Moshe asked Paro, Are you honoring me? When should I entreat for you, and for your servants, and for your people, to destroy the frogs from you and your houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he answered, Tomorrow. Then he replied, It will be according to your word, so that you will know there is none like Yahweh, our Elohim. Therefore the frogs will depart from you, and from your houses, and from your servants, and from your people. they will remain in the river only. Then Moshe and Aharon went out from Paro, and Moshe cried out unto YHWH because of the frogs, which he had brought against Paro. And YHWH did according to the word of Moshe. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. Then they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. But when Paro saw that there was relief, his heart was hardened, and did not hearken to them, as YHWH had spoken. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, Say to Aharon, Stretch out your rod and strike the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Thus they did so, for Aharon stretched out his hand with his rod, and struck the dust of the earth. Then it became lice in Adam and in beast. All the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Also the magicians did so with their enchantments, to bring forth lice. But they could not. Thus there was lice upon Adam and upon beast. Then the magician said to Paro, This is the finger of Elohim. But Paro's heart was hardened, and did not hearken unto them, as YHWH had spoken. And YHWH said to Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Paro. Lo, he comes forth to the water, and say to him, Thus saith YHWH, Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms upon you, and upon your servants, and upon your people, and into your houses, and the houses of the Mitzrayim will be full of swarms. Also the Adamah where they are. Furthermore, during that day I will sever the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell, that no swarms will be there, for the purpose that you may know that I am he who exists in the midst of the earth. Thus I will put a division between my people and your people. This sign will be tomorrow. And YHWH did so, and there came a grievous swarm into the house of Paro, and into the houses of his servants, and into all the land of Mitzrayim, and the land was corrupted by reason of the swarm. Therefore Paro called for Moshe and for Aharon. Then he said, Go, sacrifice to your Elohim in the land. However, Moshe said, We will not prepare, for we will be sacrificing an abomination of the Mitzrayim unto YHWH, our Elohim. Behold, we will be sacrificing the abomination of the Mitzrayim before their eyes, and will they not stone us? We will go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, and sacrifice unto YHWH, our Elohim, as he commanded us. Therefore Paro said, I will let you go, that you may sacrifice unto YHWH your Elohim in the wilderness. Only do not go too far away. Entreat for me. Then Moshe said, Behold, I will go out from you, and I will entreat YHWH that the swarms may depart from Paro, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. But let not Paro deal deceitfully any more, in not letting the people go to sacrifice unto YHWH. So Moshe went out from Paro, and entreated YHWH. Therefore YHWH did according to the word of Moshe, and he removed the swarms from Paro, from his servants, and from his people. Not one remained. But Paro hardened his heart this time also, and did not let the people go.
Chapter 9.
Then YHWH said to Moshe, Go to Paro and tell him, Thus saith YHWH, Elohim of the Abiram, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let go, and will hold them still, behold, the hand of YHWH will be upon your livestock, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. The word will be very severe. However, YHWH will sever between the livestock of Yashareal and the livestock of Mitzrayim, and nothing will die of all the children of Yashareal. Word. Also, YHWH appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow YHWH will do this word in the land. Therefore, during the next day, YHWH did that word, and all the livestock of Mitzrayim died. However, not one died of the livestock of the children of Yashareal. Then Paro sent and beheld, there was not one of the livestock of Yashareal dead. Therefore the heart of Paro was hardened, and he did not let the people go. Then YHWH said to Moshe and to Aharon, Take to yourself handfuls of ashes from the furnace, and let Moshe sprinkle it towards the heavens in the sight of Paro, and it will become small dust in all the land of Mitzrayim, and cause a boil outbreak of sores upon Adam and beast throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore they took the ashes of the furnace and stood before Paro. Then Moshe sprinkled it up towards the heavens, and it became a boil outbreak of sores upon Adam and beast. Moreover, the magicians could not stand before Moshe because of the boils, for the boils were upon the magicians and upon all the Mitzrayim. However, YHWH hardened the heart of Paro, and he did not hearken unto them, as YHWH had spoken to Moshe. And YHWH said to Moshe, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Paro, and say to him, Thus saith YHWH, Elohim of the Aibarim, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For this time I will send all my plagues unto your heart, and within your servants, and within your people, that you may know that there is none like me in all the earth. For now I will stretch out my hand, that I may strike you and your people with the word, and you will be hidden from the earth. Also, I raised you up for this, to show you my power, and so that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. Still yet, you exalt yourself against my people, in that you will not let them go. Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such as has not been in Mitzrayim since the foundation of it, even until now. Send now, gather your livestock, and all that you have in the field. Every Adam and beast which is found in the field and not brought home, the hail will come down upon them, and they will die. He who feared the word of YHWH among the servants of Paro made his servants and his livestock flee into the houses. However, he who did not regard the word of YHWH left his servants and his livestock in the field. Then YHWH said to Moshe, Stretch forth your hand towards the heavens, that there may be hail in all the land of Mitzrayim, upon Adam and beast, and upon every herb of the field, throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore Moshe stretched forth his rod towards the heavens, and YHWH sent thunder and hail, and the fire traveled to the ground, and YHWH rained hail upon the land of Mitzrayim. Thus there was hail, and fire was in the midst of the very severe hail, such as had not been like it in all the land of Mitzrayim since it had become a nation. And the hail struck throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, all that was in the field, both Adam and beast. And the hail struck every herb of the field, and broke every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen, Where the children of Yeshariel were, there was no hell. Then Paro sent and called for Musha and Aharon. And he said to them, I have sinned this time. Yahuwah is righteous, but my people and I are wrong. Entreat Yahuwah that there is no more mighty thunders and hail, and I will let you go, and you will stay no longer. Therefore Musha said to him, As soon as I have gone out of the city, I will spread my hands abroad unto Yahuwah. The thunder will cease, and there will be no more hail. So you may know that the earth belongs to Yahuwah. However, as for you and your servants, I know that you will still not fear Yahuwah Elohim. Thus the flax and the barley were smitten, for the barley was in head, and the flax was in bud. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, because they are your late crops. Therefore Musha went out of the city of Paro, and he spread his hands abroad unto Yahuwah. Then the thunder and the hail ceased, and the rain did not pour upon the earth. But when Paro saw that the rain and the hail and the thunder had ceased, he sinned yet again, and he hardened his heart, him and his servants. Therefore the heart of Paro was hardened. He would not let the children of Yeshariel go, as Yahuwah had spoken by the hand of Musha.
Chapter 10.
And Yahuwah said to Musha, Go unto Paro, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him, so that you may tell in the ears of your son and your son's son things that I have worked in Mitzrayim, and my signs which I have done among them. Then they may know that I am he who exists. Therefore Musha and Aharon came in unto Paro, and they said to him, This saith Yahuwah, Elohim of the Aibarim, How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if you refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow I will bring locusts into your borders, and they will cover the face of the earth, that a man will not be able to see the earth, and they will eat the residue of that which has escaped, which remains for you from the hail, and eat every tree which grows for you out of the field. Also they will fill your houses, and the houses of your servants, and the houses of all Mitzrayim, which neither your fathers nor your fathers' fathers have seen, since the day they were upon the Adamah until this day. Then he turned and went out from Paro. Therefore Paro's servants asked of him, How long will this be a snare for us? Let the men go, that they may serve Yahuwah their Elohim. Do you still not know? Mitzrayim is destroyed. Then Musha and Aharon were brought to Paro again, and he said to them, Go, serve Yahuwah your Elohim. Who and who are going? So Musha answered, We will go with our young and with our old, with our sons and with our daughters. With our flocks and with our herds we will go, for we will feast unto Yahuwah. Therefore he said to them, Let it be so, Yahuwah being with you, when I let you and your little ones go. Beware, for trouble is before your face. You will not go like this. The men may go and serve Yahuwah, for that is your desire. Then they were driven out from the presence of Paro. So Yahuwah said to Musha, Stretch out your hand over the land of Mitzrayim, for the locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Mitzrayim, and eat every herb from the land, all that the hail has left. Therefore Musha stretched forth his rod over the land of Mitzrayim. Then Yahuwah brought his east wind upon the land all that day and all that night, When it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. Then the locusts went up over all the land of Mitzrayim, and rested in all the borders of Mitzrayim. They were very grievous. Before these there was no such locust like them, nor will there be such after them. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they ate every herb from the land, and all the fruit of the trees, which the hail had left. And nothing green remained in the trees or in the herbs of the field, throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Then Paro called for Moshe and Aharon in haste. And he said, I have sinned against YHWH, your Elohim, and against you. Now, I pray you, forgive my sin only this once, and entreat YHWH, your Elohim, that he would merely remove this death from me. Then he went out from Paro and entreated YHWH. And YHWH turned a very strong west wind, which took away the locusts and cast them into the sea of reeds. There remained not one locust in all the borders of Mitzrayim. However, YHWH hardened Paro's heart, so that he could not let the children of Yeshariel go. And YHWH said to Moshe, Stretch out your hand towards the heavens, that there may be darkness over the land of Mitzrayim, a darkness that can even be felt. Then Moshe stretched forth his hand towards the heavens, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Mitzrayim for 3 days. They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Yeshariel had light in their dwellings. Therefore Paro called to Moshe and said, Go, serve YHWH, only let your flocks and your herds stay. Also let your little ones go with you. But Moshe said, You must give us our sacrifices and burnt offerings also, that we may sacrifice unto YHWH, our Elohim. Our livestock will go with us also. A hoof will not be left behind. For of it we must take to serve YHWH, our Elohim. However, we will not know how we must serve YHWH until we arrive there. So YHWH hardened Paro's heart, and he would not let them go. Then Paro said to him, Get yourself from me. Take heed to yourself. See my face no more. For in the day that you see my face, you will die. Therefore Moshe said, You have spoken well. I will not see your face again. Moreover, YHWH said to Moshe, Still yet I will bring one plague upon Paro and upon Mitzrayim. Afterwards he will let you go from here, like sending away a bride. Surely he will drive you out from here. Speak a petition in the ears of the people, and let every man ask of his neighbor, and every woman of her neighbor, jewels of silver and jewels of gold. Thus YHWH gave the people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim. Moreover, the man, Moshe, was very great in the land of Mitzrayim, in the sight of Paro's servants, and in the sight of the people. Then Moshe said, Thus saith YHWH, About midnight I will go out into the midst of Mitzrayim, and all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim will die, from the firstborn of Paro, who sits upon his throne, even to the firstborn of the maidservant, who is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of the beasts. Therefore there will be a great cry throughout all the land of Mitzrayim, such as there was none like it, nor will there be like it again. However, a dog will not lick his tongue against any of the children of Yeshariel, against man or beast, so that you may know that YHWH does put a division between Mitzrayim and Yeshariel. Furthermore, all of your servants will come to me and beg me, saying, Leave, yourself and all the people who follow you. Then after that, I will leave. Thus he went out from Paro with great anger. However, Yahuwah said to Musha, Paro will not hearken unto you, so that my wonders will be multiplied in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore Musha and Aharon did all these wonders before Paro. But Yahuwah hardened Paro's heart, so that he would not let the children of Yeshariel go out of his land.
Chapter 11.
And Yahuwah spoke to Musha and to Aharon in the land of Mitzrayim, saying, This month will be the beginning of months for you. To you it will be the first month of the year. Speak to all the congregation of Yeshariel, saying, During the 10th of this month, every man will take unto themselves a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for each house. However, if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to his house take it according to the number of souls. You will count each man according to his eating for the lamb. Your lamb will be without blemish, a male of the first year. You will take it out from the sheep or goats, and you will keep it until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Yeshariel will kill it in the evening. Also they will take the blood. Then they will strike it upon the 2 side posts and the upper door posts of the houses, in which they eat it. And they will eat the flesh in that night, roasted with fire and unleavened bread. With bitterness they will eat it. You will not eat it raw, nor boiled with water, but roasted with fire, its head upon its shanks, upon its entrails. And you will not let anything remain until the morning. And what remains of it until the morning you will burn with fire. Thus you will eat it, with your loins girded, your shoes on your feet, and your staff in your hand. Also you will eat it with haste. It is the Pasach, Passover, unto Yahuwah, because I will pass through the land of Mitzrayim this night, and I will strike all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from Adam to beast, and I will execute judgment against all the deities of Mitzrayim. I am he who exists. However, the blood upon the houses where you are will be a sign for you. So when I see the blood, I will pass over you. Thus the plague will not be upon you, to destroy you when I strike the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, this day will be for you to remember and celebrate. It is a feast unto Yahuwah throughout your generations, a custom you will celebrate forever. For 7 days you will eat unleavened bread. Even the first day you will put away leaven out of your houses. For whoever eats leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul will be cut off from Yeshariel. Furthermore, during the first day there will be a Mikra Kudesh, call of holiness. Also, during the 7th day there will be a Mikra Kudesh for you. No manner of work will be done during them, except that every man will eat. That alone you may do. Also, you will keep matzut, unleavened breads, because during this same day I have brought your armies out of the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, you will keep this day throughout your generations, a custom forever. During the first month, on the 14th day at evening, you will eat unleavened breads, until the 21st day of the month at evening. For 7 days there will be no leaven found in your houses, because whoever eats that which is leavened, that soul will be cut off from the congregation of Yeshariel, whether he is an immigrant or born in the land. You will not eat leaven. In all your dwellings you will eat unleavened bread. Therefore Moshe called for all the elders of Yeshariel and said to them, Draw out and take yourself a lamb, according to your families, and kill the Pesach. Then you will take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin. Next, strike the lintel and the 2 side posts with the blood that is in the basin. Furthermore, none of you will go out from the door of his house until morning. Then he who exists will pass through to strike the Mitzrayim. And when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 side posts, Yehu will pass over the door, and he will not suffer the destroyer to come into your houses to strike. Furthermore, you will observe this word for a custom unto you and unto your children forever. And it will come to pass when you come to the land which Yehovah will give you, as it was promised, that you will keep this service. Moreover, it will come to pass when your children ask of you, What is this service to you? Then you will say to them, It is the sacrifice of Pesach unto Yehovah, who passed over the houses of the children of Yeshariel in Mitzrayim, when he struck the Mitzrayim, and delivered our houses. Therefore the people bowed and worshipped. Then the children of Yeshariel went away, and did as Yehovah had commanded Moshe and Aharon. Thus they did. And it came to pass during the middle of the night, Yehovah struck all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, from the firstborn of Paro, who sits upon his throne, to the firstborn of the captive, who is in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of the livestock. Then Paro rose up in the night, he and all his servants, and all the Mitzrayim, and there was a great cry in Mitzrayim, for there was not a house where someone had not died. Therefore he called for Moshe and Aharon by night. Then he said, Rise up, get yourself forth from among my people, both you and the children of Yeshariel, and go serve Yehovah, as you have said. Also take your flocks and your herds, as you have said. Therefore go, and endow me too. Moreover, the Mitzrayim strengthened the people to hasten their departure out of the land, for they said, We are all dead. Also the people took their dough before it was leavened. Their kneading troughs were bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. Moreover, the children of Yeshariel did according to the word of Moshe. And they borrowed of the Mitzrayim jewels of silver, and jewels of gold, and clothes. And Yehovah gave the people favor in the sight of the Mitzrayim. Therefore they asked of them, and they plundered Mitzrayim. Thus the children of Yeshariel journeyed from Raamses towards Sukkot. About 600,000 strong men were on foot, aside from children. Also a mixed multitude went up with them, and flocks and herds, a great burden of livestock. And they baked unleavened breads from the dough that they had brought forth out of Mitzrayim, for it was not leavened, because they were thrusted out of Mitzrayim and could not tarry, nor had they prepared for themselves any victual. Thus the inhabitation of the children of Yeshariel, who dwelt in Mitzrayim, was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of 430 years, that same day, it happened that all the armies of Yehovah went out from the land of Mitzrayim. It is a night of observances unto Yehovah, for bringing them out of the land of Mitzrayim. This is the night that YHWH observes for all the children of Yeshariel throughout their generations. Therefore YHWH said to Moshe and Aharon, "This is the custom of Pesach. No foreigner shall eat of it. However, every servant of man who is bought with money, when you have circumcised him, then he may eat of it. A resident or a hired servant shall not eat of it. It will be eaten in one house. You will not carry forth any of the flesh abroad out of the house, nor will you break its bone. All of the congregation of Yeshariel will keep it. Also, when an immigrant sojourns with you and keeps Pesach unto YHWH, let all his males be circumcised. Then let him come near and keep it, and he will become like one who is born in the land, because no uncircumcised person will eat of it. One Torah, teaching, will be for him who is homeborn and for the immigrant who sojourns among you." And all the children of Yeshariel did as YHWH commanded Moshe and Aharon. Thus they did. And it came to pass that same day that YHWH brought the children of Yeshariel out of the land of Mitzrayim by their armies.
Chapter 12.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, "Sanctify unto me all the firstborn. Whoever opens the womb among the children of Yeshariel within Adam and beasts, they are mine." Therefore Moshe said to the people, "Remember this day in which you came out of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. For with strength the hand of YHWH brought you out from this place. No leavened bread will be eaten. This day you came out in the month of Abib. Furthermore, it shall be, when YHWH brings you into the land of the Canaani, and the Hitti, and the Amori, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi, which he swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, that you will keep this service during this month. 7 days you will eat unleavened bread. Also a feast unto YHWH will be during the 7th day. Unleavened bread will be eaten 7 days, and no leavened bread will be seen with you, nor will leaven be seen with you in all your borders. And during that day you will explain to your son, saying, because of what YHWH did for me when I came out of Mitzrayim. Furthermore, it will be a mark for you upon your hand and for a memorial between your eyes, that the teaching of YHWH may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand YHWH has brought you out of Mitzrayim. Therefore you will keep this custom during its appointed time from year to year. Thus it will be when YHWH brings you into the land of the Canaani and gives it to you, as he swore to you and your fathers. Therefore you will pass over all that opens the womb unto YHWH, and of every firstborn that you have, coming from beast, the males will be for YHWH. However, every firstborn of an ass you will redeem with a lamb. Yet, if you will not redeem it, then you must break his neck. Furthermore, all the firstborn of Adam among your children you will redeem. Thus it will be in a time to come, when your son asks you, saying, why is this? Then you will say to him, by strength the hand of YHWH brought us out from Mitzrayim, from the house of bondage. And it came to pass when Paro would hardly let us go, that YHWH slew all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both the firstborn of Adam and the firstborn of beast. Therefore I sacrifice unto YHWH all the males that open the womb. but all the firstborn of my children I redeem. Thus it will be for a mark upon your hand, and for frontlets between your eyes. For by strength the hand of YHWH brought us out of Mitzrayim.
Chapter 13.
And it came to pass, when Paro had let the people go, that Elohim did not lead them through the land of the Pelishtim, Palestine, although that was closer. For Elohim said, lest perhaps the people repent when they see war, and they return to Mitzrayim. So Elohim turned the people the way of the wilderness of the Sea of Reeds, and the children of Yeshariel went up from the land of Mitzrayim by fifties. Moreover, Moshe took the bones of Yusuf with him, for the children of Yeshariel had straitly sworn, saying, surely Elohim will visit you, and you will carry up my bones from here with you. However, they journeyed from Sekut and encamped in Etam, at the tip of the wilderness. Furthermore, YHWH went before them by day, in the pillar of a cloud to lead their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light. For traveling by day and night, he did not remove the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, from before the people. And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Yeshariel. Thus they will turn, and they will camp facing the mouth of the hole, between the cliff and the sea, facing the northern Lord. Once present, you will camp towards the sea. Therefore Paro will say of the children of Yeshariel, they are trapped in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. Moreover, I will harden Paro's heart, that he will follow after them, and I will lay weight upon Paro and upon his entire army, that the Mitzrayim may know that I am YHWH. Thus they did so. However, it was told to the king of Mitzrayim that the people fled, and the heart of Paro and of his servants was turned against the people. Therefore they asked, why have we done this, that we have allowed Yeshariel to go from serving us? So he made his chariot ready and took his people with him. Moreover, he took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Mitzrayim, and captains over every one of them. Thus YHWH hardened the heart of Paro, the king of Mitzrayim, and he pursued after the children of Yeshariel. But the children of Yeshariel went out with an upper hand. Then the Mitzrayim pursued after them, and they overtook them and camped towards the sea. All the horses and chariots of Paro, and his horsemen, and his army were towards the mouth of the hole, facing the northern Lord. And when Paro drew near, the children of Yeshariel lifted up their eyes. Behold, the Mitzrayim marched behind them, and they were very afraid. Then the children of Yeshariel cried out to YHWH, and they asked Moshe, is it from my exhaustion that there are no graves in Mitzrayim, that we are taken into the wilderness to die? Why have you done so, to carry us from Mitzrayim? Is this not the word that we told you in Mitzrayim, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Mitzrayim? For it was better for us to serve the Mitzrayim than that we should die in the wilderness. However, Moshe replied to the people, fear not, stand still, and see the salvation of YHWH, which he will show to you this day. For the Mitzrayim, whom you see today, you will not see them again forever. YHWH will fight for you. Therefore, you should hold your peace. Then YHWH asked of Moshe, why do you cry to me? Speak to the children of Yeshariel, that they go forward. Therefore, lift up your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea. Then it will divide, and the children of Yeshariel will go on dry land through the midst of the sea. And behold, I will harden the hearts of the Mitzrayim, and they will follow them. But I will lay wait upon Paro, and upon his entire army, upon his chariots, upon his horsemen. And the Mitzrayim will know that I am YHWH, with my weight upon Paro, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. Then the angel of Elohim, who went before the camp of Yeshariel, moved and went behind them. Thus the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. Therefore it came between the camp of the Mitzrayim and the camp of Yeshariel. And it was a cloud and a darkness. Yet it gave light by night. However, nobody went near or towards it all night. Then Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea, and YHWH caused the sea to move by a strong east wind all that night. Therefore he made the sea dry, and the waters were divided. Also the children of Yeshariel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground, and the waters were a wall for them on their right hand and on their left. Moreover, the Mitzrayim pursued and went after them, towards the midst of the sea, all of Paro's horses, chariots, and horsemen. And it came to pass during the morning watch, YHWH looked towards the Mitzrayim encampment through the pillar of fire and cloud. Then he troubled the Mitzrayim army, and he took off their chariot wheels. Therefore they drove them with difficulty, so that the Mitzrayim said, "Let us flee from the face of Yeshariel, for YHWH fights for them against the Mitzrayim." Moreover, YHWH said to Moshe, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come again upon the Mitzrayim, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen." Therefore Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength at the appearance of morning. Then the Mitzrayim were fleeing towards him. Thus YHWH overthrew the Mitzrayim in the midst of the sea. Then the waters returned and covered the chariots and the horsemen. The entire army of Paro, who went into the sea after them, not so much as one of them remained. However, the children of Yeshariel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall for them on their right hand and on their left hand. Thus YHWH saved Yeshariel that day out of the hand of the Mitzrayim, and Yeshariel saw the Mitzrayim dead upon the seashore. Therefore Yeshariel saw the great work which YHWH did within Mitzrayim, and the people revered YHWH. Thus they believed in He who exists, and in His servant Moshe.
Chapter 14.
Then Moshe and the children of Yeshariel sang this song unto YHWH, and spoke, saying, I will sing unto YHWH, for He has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider were tossed into the sea. Yah is my strength and song, and He has become my salvation. He is Ali, and I will dwell with Him, Elohim of my father, and I will exalt Him. YHWH is a man of battle. He exists is His title. Paro's chariots and army were tossed into the sea. His best captains have drowned in the sea of reeds. The abyss has covered them. Like a stone they sank to the bottom. Your right hand, O YHWH, is awesome in power. Your right hand, O YHWH, our enemy has become powder. And with the abundance of your excellency, you tore down those who rose up against thee. You unleashed your wrath, consuming them like chaff. And with the wind of your nostrils, the waters were gathered together. The flood stood up like a heap. The abyss was solid in the heart of the sea. The enemy said, I will pursue. I will overtake. I will divide the plunder. My desires will be fulfilled by you. I will draw my sword. My hand will possess you. You blew with your wind. Them the sea did cover. They sank like lead in the mighty water. Who is like you, O YHWH, among the deities? Who is like you? We are glorified by your holiness. We are reverent of your praises, doing wonders. You have stretched out your right hand. The earth swallowed them. With mercy you have led the people forth, those of your redemption. With strength you have guided them to your holy habitation. The people will hear and be afraid. Sorrow will take hold of the inhabitants of Peleshet, and the chiefs of Adum will be amazed. Trembling will take hold of the mighty men of Moab. All the inhabitants of Canaan will melt away. By the greatness of your arm, terror and dread will befall them. They will be still as a stone until your people pass over, O YHWH, until the people who you have redeemed pass over. You will bring them in and plant them in the mountain of your inheritance, in the place that you have made for your dwelling. O YHWH, from the sanctuary of Adonai, your hands have established. YHWH will reign forever and ever. For the horse of Paro went in with his chariots, and with his horsemen into the sea. And YHWH brought upon them again the waters of the sea. But the children of Yashareal went on dry land in the midst of the sea. Then Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aharun, took a timbrel in her hand. And all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, Sing unto YHWH, for he has triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider were tossed into the sea.
Chapter 15.
And Moshe brought Yashareal from the Sea of Reeds. And they went out towards the wilderness of Shur. And they went 3 days in the wilderness. Yet no water was found. And when they came to Marah, they could not drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore its name was called Marah, bitterness. So the people murmured against Moshe, saying, What will we drink? Therefore he cried unto YHWH, and YHWH showed him a tree. When he tossed it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a custom and judgment for them, and there he tested them. Therefore he said, If you will diligently hearken to the voice of YHWH your Elohim, and do all that is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his customs, I will put none of these diseases upon you, which I have brought upon the Mitzrayim, for I am YHWH, who heals you. And they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they encamped there by the water. Then they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Yashareal came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the 2nd month, after their departure from the land of Mitzrayim. And the whole congregation of the children of Yashareal murmured against Moshe and Aharun in the wilderness. Moreover, the children of Yashareal said to them, If only we had died by the hand of YHWH in the land of Mitzrayim, when we sat by the meat pots, when we ate bread until full. For you have brought us forth into this wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Therefore YHWH said to Moshe, Behold, I will rain bread from the heavens for you. Then the people will go out and gather a certain amount every day, so I may test them, whether or not they will walk in my teaching. And it will be on the 6th day they will prepare that which they bring in, and it will be twice as much as they gather daily. Then Moshe and Aharon said to all the children of Yisrael, At evening, then you will know that YHWH has brought you out from the land of Mitzrayim. And in the morning, then you will see the glory of YHWH, for he hears your murmurings against YHWH. And who are we, that you murmur against us? Moreover, Moshe said, This will happen when YHWH gives you meat to eat in the evening, and bread until full in the morning, because YHWH hears your murmurings, which you murmur against him. And who are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against he who exists. Therefore Moshe spoke to Aharon, Say to all the congregation of the children of Yisrael, Come near before YHWH, for he has heard your murmurings. And it came to pass, as Aharon spoke to the whole congregation of the children of Yisrael, that they looked towards the wilderness, and behold, the glory of YHWH appeared in the cloud. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Yisrael. Speak to them, saying, At evening you will eat meat, and in the morning you will be filled with bread. Therefore you will know that I am YHWH, your Elohim. And it came to pass at evening, quail came up and covered the camp. Also in the morning dew laid round about the encampment. And when the dew that laid about had gone up, behold, there was a small round thing upon the surface of the wilderness, as small as hoarfrost on the ground. Then, when the children of Yisrael saw it, they said one to another, What is this? For they did not know what it was. Therefore Moshe said to them, This is the bread which YHWH has given you to eat. This is the thing which YHWH has commanded. Every man will gather it for food, an omer according to the head count of souls. Every man will take for those in his tents. Thus the children of Yisrael did so, and they gathered some more, some less. However, when they measured it with an omer, he who gathered much had nothing over, and he who gathered little had no lack. They gathered each man according to his eating. And Moshe said, Let no man leave it until the morning. Nonetheless, they did not hearken to Moshe, and some of them left it until the morning. Therefore it bred worms and stank. Then Moshe was wroth with them. Furthermore, they gathered it every morning, each man's portion of food, and when the sun waxed hot, it melted. And it came to pass on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for each one. Therefore all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moshe. Then he said to them, This is what YHWH has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Shabbat unto YHWH. Bake what you will bake, and seethe what you will seethe, and that which remains may be laid up for yourself, to keep until morning. Therefore they laid it up until morning, as Moshe instructed, and it did not stink, nor was there any worms in it. Moreover, Moshe said, Today eat this, for today is a Shabbat unto YHWH. Today you will not find it in the field. 6 days you will gather it, but during the 7th day, the Shabbat, none will be in it. And it came to pass on the 7th day, they went out from the people to gather, but none was found. Then YHWH asked of Moshe, How long will you men refuse to keep my commandments, and my teachings. Behold, because YHWH has given you the Shabbat, therefore he gives you the bread for 2 days, on the 6th day. Abide yourselves, every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the 7th day. Therefore the people rested on the 7th day. Moreover, the house of Yeshariel called the name of it manna, and it was like white coriander seed, and it tasted like honey wafers. Furthermore, Moshe said, This is the thing which YHWH commands. Fill an omer of it to keep for your generations, so that they may see the bread that I fed you with in the wilderness, when I brought you forth from the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore Moshe said to Aharon, Take a pot, and put an omer full of manna in it, and lay it up before YHWH to keep for your generations. So Aharon laid it up before the testimony, to keep it as YHWH commanded Moshe. Thus the children of Yeshariel ate manna for 40 years, until they came to the land they would inhabit. They ate manna until they came to the borders of the land of Canaan. Now an amer is 1/10 part of an aipa. And all the congregation of the children of Yeshariel set out from the wilderness of Sin, to journey according to the commandment of YHWH. And they pitched in Rephidim, but there was no water for the people to drink. So the people contended with Moshe, and said, Give us water that we may drink. But Moshe asked of them, Why do you contend with me? Why do you tempt YHWH? And there the people thirsted for water. Therefore the people murmured against Moshe, and asked, Why is it that you have brought us up out of Mitzrayim to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst? So Moshe cried unto YHWH, saying, What can I do for these people? They are almost ready to stone me. Then YHWH answered Moshe, Go onward before the people, and the elders of Yeshariel with you. Also your rod, which you struck the river, take it in your hand and go. Behold, there I will stand before you with a choreb, sword, above the rock. Therefore you will strike the rock, and water will come out of it. Then the people may drink. Thus Moshe did in the sight of the elders of Yeshariel. And he called the name of the place Massa Meribah, from temptation and strife, because of the strife of the children of Yeshariel, and because they tempted he who exists, saying, Is YHWH among us or not?
Chapter 16.
And Amalek, dweller of the valley, came. Then he fought with Yeshariel in Rephidim, bottom. Therefore Moshe said to YHWH, Choose mortals for us, and go fight Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the mountain, with the rod of Elohim in my hand. So YHWH did as Moshe said to him, and fought with Amalek. Then Moshe, Aharon, and Hur went up to the top of the mountain. And it came to pass when Moshe held up his hand, then Yeshariel prevailed. But when he let down his hand, then Amalek prevailed. However, the hands of Moshe were heavy, so they took a stone and put it under him. Then he sat on it. Moreover, Aharon and Hur held up his hands, the one on the one side, and the other on the other side. Therefore his hands were steady until the sun went down. Thus YHWH, YHWH is salvation, defeated Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And YHWH said to Moshe, Write this memorial in a supper, and mention it in the ears of YHWH, for surely I will blot out the memory of Amalek from under the heavens. Then Moshe built an altar and called the name of it YHWH Nisi. YHWH is my banner. For he said, because of the hand against the throne of Yah, war against YHWH will exist with the dweller of the valley from generation to generation.
Chapter 17.
When Yitro, the priest of Midian, the father-in-law of Moshe, heard of all that Elohim had done for Moshe and for Yeshariel, his people, that YHWH had brought Yeshariel out of Mitzrayim, then Moshe's father-in-law, Yitro, took Zipporah, Moshe's wife, after he had sent her back, and her 2 sons, the name of one being Gershom, for he said, I am a sojourner in a foreign land, and the name of the other was Eliezer, my all helps. For the Elohim of my father is my help, and delivered me from the sword of Paro. Thus Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife unto Moshe into the wilderness, where he encamped, there at the mountain of Elohim. And he said to Moshe, I, Yitro, your father-in-law, and your wife, and her 2 sons with her, came unto you. Therefore Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law, and did obeisance, and kissed him. Then they asked of each other's welfare, and they went into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that YHWH had done to Paro and to the Mitzrayim for Yeshariel's sake, all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how YHWH delivered them. Therefore Yitro rejoiced for all the goodness which YHWH had done for Yeshariel, whom he had delivered out of the hand of Mitzrayim. Moreover, Yitro said, Congratulate YHWH, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Mitzrayim, and out of the hand of Paro, who has delivered the people from under the hand of the Mitzrayim. Now I know that he who exists is greater than all the deities, for with the spoken word he boiled over them. Then Moshe's father-in-law, Yitro, took an ascension offering and sacrifices for Elohim. Also Aharon came, and all the elders of Yeshariel, to eat bread with the father-in-law of Moshe before Elohim. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moshe from the morning to the evening. Furthermore, when Moshe's father-in-law saw all that he did for the people, he asked, What is this thing that you do for the people? Why do you sit alone? And all the people rise upon you from morning until evening. So Moshe answered his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of Elohim. When they have a matter, they come to me, and I judge between one another. Then I make them know the customs of Elohim and his teachings. Thus Moshe's father-in-law said to him, The thing that you do is not good. Surely you will wear away, both you and these people who are with you, for this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it alone. Now hearken to my voice. I will give you counsel, and Elohim will be with you. You stand for the people before Elohim. Thus you bring the accounts to Elohim. Moreover, you enlighten them with customs and teachings, and show them the way in which they must walk, and the work that they must do. However, you will look for men among all the people who revere Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place these over them, to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. Furthermore, let them weigh the people at all times. However, it shall be that every great matter they will bring to you, but every small matter they will judge. Thus it will be easier for you, and they will bear the burden with you. If you will do this thing, and Elohim command you so, then you will be able to endure. Also, all these people will go to their place in peace. Therefore Musha hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he said. Thus Musha chose able men out of all of Yeshariel, and made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. And they weighed the people at all times. They brought the hard causes to Musha. However, they judged every small matter themselves. Then Musha let his father-in-law depart, and he went to his land.
Chapter 18.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Yeshariel had gone forth from the land of Mitzrayim, that same day they came into the wilderness of Sinai, for they had departed from Rephidim. Then they came to the wilderness of Sinai, and pitched in the wilderness. And there Yeshariel camped before the mount. Then Musha went up to Elohim, and Yahweh called to him out of the mountain, saying, Thus you will say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Yeshariel, You have seen what I did to the Mitzrayim, and how I carried you on the wings of eagles, and brought you to myself. Now therefore, listen, if you will hearken to my voice, and keep my covenant, then you will be a jewel unto me from all people, for all the earth is mine. And to me you will be a kingdom of priests, and a holy nation. These are the words which you will speak to the children of Yeshariel. Therefore Musha came and called the elders of the people, and he laid before their faces all these words, which Yahweh commanded him. Then all the people answered together and said, We will do all that Yahweh has spoken. Furthermore, Musha returned the words of the people to Yahweh. Thus Yahweh said to Musha, Lo, I will come to you in a thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak to you, and believe you forever. Then Musha told the words of the people unto Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh said to Musha, Go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and let them wash their clothes. And towards the 3rd day be ready, for the 3rd day Yahweh will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. And you will set boundaries for the people round about, saying, Take heed to yourselves about going up into the mount, and touching the border of it. Whoever touches the mount will surely die. Not a hand will touch it, for surely he will be stoned or shot through. Whether it is a beast or man, it will not live. When there is a long trumpet sound, they will come up towards the mount. Therefore Musha went down from the mount to the people. Then he sanctified the people, and he washed their clothes. And he said to the people, Towards the 3rd day be ready, do not come unto your wives. And it came to pass on the 3rd day in the morning that there was thunders and lightnings, and a thick cloud upon the mount. Also the sound of the trumpet was very loud, such that all the people who were in the camp trembled. Then Musha brought forth the people out of the camp to meet Elohim, and they stood by the lower part of the mount. And Mount Sinai was complete smoke, because Elohim descended upon it with fire. And the smoke of it ascended like the smoke of a furnace, and the whole mount shook greatly. And when the sound of the trumpet continued and became louder, Moshe spoke. Then Elohim answered him with a voice. And YHWH came down upon Mount Sinai, on top of the mount. And YHWH called Moshe to the top of the mount. Therefore Moshe went up. And YHWH said to Moshe, Go down, charge the people, lest they tear through unto YHWH to gaze, and many of them perish. And let the priests also, who came near unto YHWH, sanctify themselves, lest YHWH break forth upon them. But Moshe said unto YHWH, The people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for you charged us, saying, Set boundaries about the mount, and separate it. Therefore YHWH said to him, Away, get yourself down. Then you will come up, you and Aharon with you. But do not let the priests and the people tear down to come up unto YHWH, lest he break forth within them. So Moshe went down to the people and spoke to them.
Chapter 19.
And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am YHWH, your Elohim, who has brought you out from the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You shall not have any other deities above me. You shall not make for yourself any statue or any likeness of that which is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the water under the earth. Nor should you bow to them, nor serve them. For I, YHWH, your Elohim, am a jealous all, appointing the iniquity of the fathers to the children until the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not carry the name of YHWH, your Elohim, unto emptiness. For YHWH will not hold him guiltless who bears his name for nothing. Remember the day of Shabbat, rest, to keep it holy. For 6 days you will labor and do all your work. However, the seventh day is the Shabbat of YHWH, your Elohim. In it you shall not do any work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your livestock, nor your sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days YHWH made the heavens and earth, the sea and all that is in them. Then he rested on the seventh day. Therefore YHWH endowed the day of Shabbat and hallowed it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the Adamah, which YHWH, your Elohim, gives you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not desire your neighbor's house. You shall not desire your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Furthermore, all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. Therefore, when the people saw it, they trembled and stood afar off. Then they said to Moshe, You speak with us, and we will hear. But do not let Elohim speak with us, lest we die. Therefore Moshe said to the people, Fear not, for Elohim has come to test you. Thus his fierceness is before your face, so that you do not sin.
Chapter 20.
And the people stood afar off. But Moshe drew near towards the thick darkness where Elohim was. Then YHWH said to Moshe, Thus you will say to the children of Yisrael, You have seen that I have talked with you from the heavens. You shall not make me deities of silver and deities of gold, nor will you make for yourselves. You will make an altar unto me of Adamah, and upon it you will sacrifice your ascension offerings and your restoration offerings, your sheep and your oxen. In all places that I am reminded of my name, I will come unto you and endow you. Furthermore, if you make me an altar of stone, you will not build it of cut stone, for if you lift your tool upon it, you have polluted it. Nor will you go up to my altar by steps, so that your nakedness is not discovered upon it. Now these are the judgments that you will set before them. If you will buy an Aiberi servant, he will serve for 6 years. Then, in the 7th, he will go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he will go out by himself. If he was married, then his wife will go out with him. If his lord has given him a wife, and she has bore him sons and daughters, the wife and her children will be her lord's, and he will go out by himself. Yet, if the servant clearly says, I love my lord, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his lord will bring him to the judges. Also, he will bring him to the door, or to the doorpost. Then his lord will pierce through his ear with an awl, and he will serve him forever. Furthermore, if a man sells his daughter to be a maidservant, she will not go out as the men servants do. If she is bad in the sight of her lord, whom has betrothed her to himself, then she will be redeemed to a foreign nation. He will not rule her whom is sold, her with whom has his garment. However, if he has betrothed her to his son, he will treat her according to the custom of daughters. If he takes another unto himself, he will not diminish her food, her clothing, or her marital rights. But if he does not do these 3 for her, then she will go out for nothing, without money. He who strikes a man so that he dies, surely he will be put to death. However, if a man did not lie in wait, but Elohim delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint you a place where he will flee. But if a man intentionally comes upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, you will remove him from my altar so that he will die. Also, he who strikes his father or his mother will surely be put to death. And he who steals a man and sells him, or if he is found in his possession, surely he will be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother, surely he will be put to death. Also, if men strive together, and one strikes another with a stone or with a fist, yet he does not die but falls to bed, if he rises again and walks abroad upon his staff, then he who struck will be acquitted. Only he will pay for the loss of his time and the healer who heals. And if a man strike his servant or his maid with a rod, and he dies under his hand, surely he will be punished. However, if he continues for a day or 2, he will not be punished, for he is his property. Furthermore, if men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth, yet no injury follows, surely he will be punished according to what the woman's husband lies upon him, and what is given by the judges. But if injury follows, then you will give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man strike the eye of his servant, or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he will let him go free for the sake of his eye. Moreover, if he strikes out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he will let him go free for the sake of his tooth.
Chapter 21.
If an ox gore a man or a woman, that they die, then the ox will surely be stoned, but its flesh will not be eaten. Yet the owner of the ox will be acquitted. However, if the ox is known to push with its horns in times past, and this has been testified to its owner, yet he has not kept it in, and it has killed a man or a woman, the ox will be stoned. Also, its owner will be put to death. If a sum of money has been laid upon him, then he will give the ransom of his life, whatever is laid upon him. Even if a son or daughter is gored, it will be done to him according to this judgment. If the ox pushes a manservant or a maidservant, he will give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox will be stoned. Furthermore, if a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit, yet he does not cover it, and an ox or an ass falls into it, the owner of the pit will make it good, giving money to its owner. However, the dead will be his. And if one man's ox hurts another's, so that it dies, then they will sell the live ox and divide the money of it. Also, they will divide the dead. If a man steals an ox or a sheep, then kills or sells it, he will restore 5 oxen for an ox, and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief is found breaking in and is smitten and dies, no blood will be shed for him. If the sun rises upon him, there will be blood. Full restitution. If he has nothing, then he will be sold for his theft. Surely, if the theft is found alive in his possession, whether it is ox or ass or sheep, he will restore double. If a man will cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and put in his beast, and feed in another man's field, he will make restitution from the best of his own field, and from the best of his own vineyard. If a fire breaks out and catches within thorns, so that the stacks of grain, or the standing grain, or the field is consumed, surely he who kindled the fire will make restitution. If a man delivers money or supplies to his neighbor for safekeeping, but it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, let him pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house will be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hand towards his neighbor's goods. For all manner of trespass, for ox, for ass, for sheep, for garment, for any manner of lost thing, which another challenges to be his, the cause of both parties will come before the judges. Whomever the judges condemn, he will pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers an ass, or an ox, or a sheep, or any beast to his neighbor for safekeeping, but it dies, or is hurt, or is driven away with no man seeing it, then an oath of YHWH will be between them both, that he has not put his hand to his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it will accept it. Therefore he will not make it good. But if it is stolen by him, he will make restitution to the owner of it. If it was torn to pieces, let him bring it as a witness. He will not make good that which was torn. However, if a man borrows from his neighbor, but it is damaged or dies, its owner not being with it, surely he will make it good. If its owner was with it, he will not make it good. If it was hired, it will come from his pay.
Chapter 22.
And if a man entices a maid that is not betrothed, and lies with her, surely he will endow her to be his wife. If her father refuses to give her to him, he will pay money, according to the dowry of virgins. You will not live with her enchantment. Whoever lies with a beast will surely be put to death. He who sacrifices to deities, except unto YHWH only, will be utterly destroyed. You shall not vex a sojourner, nor oppress him, for you were sojourners in the land of Mitzrayim. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them, such that they cry unto me, surely I will hear their cry, and my wrath will become hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Then your wives will be widows, and your children will be fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, don't be like the moneylender towards him. You shall not put interest upon him. If you take your neighbor's garment for a pledge, you shall return it before the sun goes down, because it is a covering for him. It is a garment for his skin. In what will he sleep? Then it shall be, when he cries unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. You shall not revile Elohim, nor shall you curse the ruler of your people. You shall not delay the first of your ripe fruits and liquors. The firstborn of your sons you shall give unto me. Likewise you will do with your oxen, with your sheep. It will be with its dame 7 days. On the 8th day you will give it to me, and you shall be holy mortals unto me. You shall not eat the torn flesh in the field. You will cast it to the dogs. You shall not raise a false report. Do not put your hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a multitude to do wickedness, nor shall you twist your testimony in a dispute, following others who have twisted, nor shall you magnify a poor man in his dispute. If you meet your enemy's ox or his ass going astray, surely you should return it to him. If you see the ass of him whom hates you, lying under his burden, and hesitate to help him, surely you should help him. You should not bend the judgment of your poor in his dispute. Distance yourself from a false word. Then you will not slay the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall not take a gift, for a bribe blinds the wise and perverts the words of the righteous. Also, you shall not oppress a sojourner, for you know the heart of a sojourner, seeing that you were sojourners in the land of Mitzrayim.
Chapter 23.
And 6 years you will sow your land and gather in the fruits of it. But the 7th year you will let it rest and lie still, so that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field will eat. In like manner you will deal with your vineyard and with your olive grove. For 6 days you will do your work, but on the 7th day you will rest, so that your ox and your ass may rest, and the son of your handmaid, and the sojourner may be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, be cautious, and make no mention of the name of other deities, nor let it be heard out of your mouth. 3 times in a year you will keep a feast unto me. You will keep the feast of matzot, unleavened breads. You will eat unleavened breads for 7 days, as I commanded you, during the appointed time, the month of Abib, because during it you came out from Mitzrayim, and no one will appear before me empty. And the feast of Chatzor, harvest. the firstfruits of your labors, which you sow into the field, also the feast of Asip, gathering, when you have brought out for the year, when you have gathered your labors from the field. 3 times during the year, all of your males will appear before the Adun, YHWH. You will not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, nor shall the fat of my feast remain until morning. The first of the firstfruits from your Adama you will bring into the house of YHWH, your Elohim. You shall not see the kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I am sending an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware his presence and obey his voice. You shall not provoke him, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is within him. But if you will indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. For my angel will go before you and bring you to the Amori, and the Hitti, and the Perizi, and the Canaani, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi. Then I will cut them off. You shall not bow down to their deities, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but you will utterly overthrow them. Surely you will break down their monuments. Moreover, you shall serve YHWH, your Elohim. Then your bread and your water will be endowed. For I will remove sickness from amongst you. No one will miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my terror before you and destroy all the people to whom you will come. And I will make all your enemies turn their backs towards you. Also, I will send hornets before you, which will drive out the Hiwi, the Canaani, and the Hitti from before you. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against you. Little by little, I will drive them out from before you, until you have increased and inherit the land. Furthermore, I will set your boundaries from the Sea of Reeds to the Sea of the Pelishtim, and from the desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you will drive them out before you. You shall not make a covenant with them, nor with their deities. They shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their deities, surely it will be a trap for you.
Chapter 24.
And he said to Moshe, Come up unto YHWH, you and Aharon, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 elders of Yeshariel. Then you will worship from afar. However, Moshe alone came near YHWH, and they did not come near, nor did the people go up with him. Therefore Moshe came and told the people all the words of YHWH and all the guidelines. Thus all the people answered with a united voice and said, All the words which YHWH has spoken, we will do. Then Moshe wrote all the words of YHWH, and rose up early in the morning, and built an altar below the mount, and 12 monuments, according to the 12 tribes of Yeshariel. Moreover, he sent young men of the children of Yeshariel, who offered ascension offerings, and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto YHWH. Then Moshe took half of the blood and put it in basins. Also he sprinkled half of the blood on the altar. Then he took the supper of the covenant and read among the audience of people. Therefore they said, We will do all that YHWH has said, and we will be obedient. Then Moshe took the blood and sprinkled it upon the people. Moreover he said, Behold, the blood of the covenant, which YHWH has made with you concerning all these words. Furthermore, Moshe and Aharon, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Yeshariel went up. Then they saw the Elohim of Yeshariel, and under his feet it was like paved work of sapphire stone, and its purity was like the body of the heavens. Moreover, he did not lay a hand upon the nobles of the children of Yeshariel, and they envisioned Elohim. Thus they ate and drank. Then YHWH said to Moshe, "Come up to me into the mount and be there, and I will give you stone tablets, and a teaching and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them." So Moshe rose up. Then his minister Yehoshua and Moshe went up into the mount of Elohim. And he said to the elders, "You wait here for us until we come back to you. Behold, Aharon and Hur are with you. If any man has any matters to do, let him come to them." Then Moshe went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of YHWH dwelled upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it for 6 days. However, the 7th day he called to Moshe out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of YHWH was like a consuming fire on the top of the mount, in the eyes of the children of Yeshariel. And Moshe went into the midst of the cloud, and got himself up into the mount. And Moshe was in the mount for 40 days and 40 nights.
Chapter 25.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, "Speak to the children of Yeshariel, that they bring me an offering. You will accept my offering from every man who willingly gives it with his heart. And this is the offering which you will take from them: gold and silver and copper, and fine linen, and goat hair dyed of blue, purple, and scarlet, and ram skins dyed red, and skins dyed blue, and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. Also let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you, the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all its instruments. Thus you will make it. And they will make an ark of shittim wood. 2.5 cubits will be its length, and 1.5 cubits will be its width, and 1.5 cubits will be its height. And you will overlay it with pure gold. You will overlay it within and without, and upon it you will make gold crowning round about. And you will cast 4 gold rings for it, and put them in its 4 corners. Thus 2 rings will be on one side of it, and 2 rings will be on the other side of it. And you will make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And you will put the staves into the rings by the side of the ark, so that the ark may be carried with them. The staves will be in the rings of the ark. They will not be taken from it. Also you will put the testimony that I will give you into the ark. And you will make an atonement covering of pure gold. 2.5 cubits will be the length of it, and 1.5 cubits will be the width of it. And you will make 2 stylized cherubim of gold. You will make them in the 2 ends of the atonement's covering. Thus make 1 cherub on one end, and the other cherub on the other end. You will make the cherubim on both ends of the atonement's covering. And the cherubim will stretch forth wings on high, shielding the atonement's covering with their wings. And they will face one towards another. The faces of the cherubim will be towards the atonement's covering. And you will put the atonement covering on top of the ark, and in the ark you will put the testimony that I will give you. And there I will meet with you, and I will commune with you from above the atonement covering, from between the two cherubim, which are upon the ark of the testimony of all that I will give you in commandment for the children of Yeshariel. Furthermore, you will make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits will be its length, and 1 cubit will be its width, and 1.5 cubits will be its height. And you will overlay it with pure gold, and you will make a gold crowning round about. Then you will make a border for it, a hand's width round about, and you will make a gold crowning for the border round about. And you will make 4 gold rings for it, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are towards its 4 legs, against the border. The rings will be the home of the staves to bear the table. And you will make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be carried with them. And you will make its dishes, and its ladles, and its vessels, and its jug, which is to pour with. You will make them of pure gold. And you will set showbread upon the table before me, always. Furthermore, you will make a menorah, candelabra, of pure gold. You will make a stylized menorah. Its handles and branches, bowls, knobs, and flowers, they will be from it. And its 6 branches will come out of its sides. 3 branches of the menorah are on one side, and 3 branches of the menorah are on its other side. 3 bowls like almonds with a knob and a flower will be on one branch, and 3 bowls like almonds with a knob and a flower will be on another branch. Such are the 6 branches that will come out of the menorah. And in the menorah there will be 4 bowls like almonds, with their knobs and flowers. Therefore, a knob is under 2 similar branches, and another knob is under 2 similar branches, and another knob is under 2 similar branches, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the menorah. Their knobs and their branches will be from it, a stylized bride, one of pure gold. Then you will make it 7 lamps, and ascend its lamps, so that the light is beyond the region of its face. And their tongs and snuff dishes will be of pure gold. He will make all of these utensils with a talent of pure gold. Furthermore, observe and make in the pattern that you saw in the mount.
Chapter 26.
And you will make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine intertwined linen, dyed blue, purple, and scarlet. You will make them with cherubim of skilled craftsmanship. The length of a curtain will be 28 cubits, and the width of a curtain will be 4 cubits, and all the curtains will have the same measurement. The 5 curtains will be coupled together, one to another, and the other 5 curtains will be coupled together, one to another. And you will make blue loops upon the edge of one curtain, from the selvage in the coupling. Therefore, you will make it in the outermost edge of another curtain, in the coupling of the second. You will make 50 loops in one curtain, and you will make 50 loops in the edge of the second curtain, for coupling the loops one to another. And you will make 50 gold toggles, and couple the curtains together with the toggles. Therefore it shall become one tabernacle. And you will make curtains of goat hair to be a covering upon the tabernacle. You will make 11 curtains. The length of a curtain will be 30 cubits, and the width of a curtain will be 4 cubits, and the 11 curtains will be the same measurement. And you will couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. Then overlap the 6th curtain in front of the tabernacle. Also, you will make 50 loops on the edge of each curtain of the outermost coupling, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain which couples to the second. Furthermore, you will make 50 toggles of copper, and put the toggles into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may become one. Also, the remnant of the remains of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remains, will hang over the back side of the tabernacle. Therefore, a cubit will be on one side, and a cubit will be on the other side, that which remains in the length of the curtains of the tent. It will hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you will make a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and above it will be a covering of skins dyed blue. And you will make boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. Each board will be 10 cubits in length, and the width of each board will be 1.5 cubits. There will be 2 tenons in each board, set in order, one against another. Thus you will make for all the boards of the tabernacle. Then you will make the boards of the tabernacle. 20 boards will be on the south side, southward. And you will make 40 silver sockets under the 20 boards. 2 sockets will be under a board for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets will be under another board for its 2 tenons. There will be 20 boards on the second side of the tabernacle, the north side, and their 40 silver sockets. 2 sockets will be under one board, and 2 sockets will be under another board. Then, for the sides of the tabernacle westward, you will make 6 boards, and you will make 2 boards for the corners of the tabernacle in the 2 sides, and they will be coupled together underneath, and together they will be coupled at the top towards a single ring. Thus, it will be for both of them. They will be for the 2 corners. Therefore, there will be 8 boards, and they will have 16 silver sockets. 2 sockets will be under one board, and 2 sockets will be under another board. And you will make bars of shittim wood. 5 are for the boards of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars are for the boards of the second side of the tabernacle, and 5 are for the boards of the far side of the tabernacle westward. Also, the middle bar in the midst of the boards will reach from end to end. Then you will overlay the boards with gold, and you will make their rings, houses for the bars, of gold. Moreover, you will overlay the bars with gold. Furthermore, you will raise up the tabernacle according to the fashion that was shown to you in the mount. Then you will make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen of skilled craftsmanship. It will be made with cherubim. Thus you will hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim, overlaid with gold, and their gold pegs will be upon the 4 silver sockets. Then you will hang up the veil from under the toggles, and there, behind the veil, you will bring in the ark of the testimony. Thus the veil is a divider for you between the holy and the holy of holies. Furthermore, you will put the atonement's covering upon the ark of the testimony in the holy of holies. Then you will set the table outside the veil, and you will place the table on the north side. But the menorah will be opposite of the table, on the side of the tabernacle that is towards the south. Moreover, you will make a covering for the door of the tabernacle, blue and purple and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen that is crafted with needlework. And for the cover you will make 5 pillars of shitham, and overlay them with gold. The pegs will be of gold, and you will have 5 copper sockets for them.
Chapter 27.
And you will make an altar of shitham wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide, a square altar, and the height of it will be 3 cubits. And you will make its horns upon its 4 corners. Its horns will be similar, and you will overlay it with gold. Then you will make pans for it to receive the ashes, and its shovels, and its basins, and its flesh hooks, and its fire pans. You will make all of its utensils of copper. Then you will make a copper grate for working the trap. And for the trap you will make 4 rings for its 4 corners, and you will put it under the rim of the altar from underneath, so that the trap is even to the middle of the altar. Then you will make staves for the altar, staves of shitham wood, and overlay them with copper, and the staves will be put into the rings, and the staves will be upon the 2 sides of the altar, to carry it. You will make it of hollowed out boards, like it was shown to you in the mount. Thus you will make it. Furthermore, you will make the court of the tabernacle. For the south side, southward, there will be hangings for the court of fine intertwined linen, 100 cubits long for one side, and it will have 20 pillars. Their 20 sockets will be of copper. The pegs of the pillars and their bands will be silver. Likewise, for the north side, in length there will be hangings of 100 cubits long, and it will have 20 pillars and their 20 copper sockets. The pegs of the pillars and their bands will be silver. And for the width of the court, on the west side, there will be hangings of 50 cubits, their 10 pillars and 10 sockets. And the width of the court on the east side, eastward, will be 50 cubits. The hangings on one side of the gate will be 15 cubits. There will be 3 pillars and 3 sockets. And on the other side will be hangings of 15 cubits, their 3 pillars and 3 sockets. Then for the court's gate there is a 20-cubit hanging of blue and purple and scarlet and fine intertwined linen, crafted with needlework. Their 4 pillars and 4 sockets. All the pillars round about the court will be banded with silver. Their pegs will be silver, and their sockets will be copper. The length of the court will be 100 cubits, and the width will surely be 50. And the height will be 5 cubits of fine intertwined linen, and their sockets will be copper. All the utensils of the tabernacle in all its service, and all the stakes of it, and all the stakes of the court will be copper. Also you will command the children of Yeshariel that they bring you pure pressed olive oil for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually within the appointed tent, outside the veil which is before the testimony. Aharon and his sons will tend to it from evening until morning before YHWH. It will be a continual custom for their generations, on behalf of the children of Yeshariel.
Chapter 28.
And take unto yourself Aharon your brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Yeshariel, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. Aharon, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Aitmar, Aharon's sons. However, you will make separate garments for Aharon your brother, to glorify and honor. Then you will speak to all the wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the ruach of wisdom. that they will make Aharon's garments to separate him, for him to minister unto me. And these are the garments which they will make: a breastplate, and an ephod, and a robe, and an embroidered coat, a turban, and a girdle. Furthermore, they will make the holy garments for Aharon, your brother, and for his sons, that they may minister unto me. Therefore they will take gold, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen. And they will make the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, scarlet, and fine intertwined linen, with skilled craftsmanship. Its 2 shoulder pieces will be joined at its 2 edges. Thus it will be joined together. Moreover, the intricate girdle of the ephod, which is upon it, will be of the same, according to its work: gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen. Then you will take 2 onyx stones and engrave the names of the sons of Yeshariel upon them. 6 of their names will be on one stone, and the 6 remaining names will be on the other stone, according to their birth. From the work of a stone artisan, you will engrave the 2 stones with the signet of the names of the sons of Yeshariel. You will make them enclosed in gold settings. And you will put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod, memorial stones for the children of Yeshariel. And Aharon will bear their names before YHWH upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And you will make gold settings, and 2 woven chains of pure gold, fashioned into cords. Moreover, connect the woven chains to the settings. Then you will make the breastplate of judgment with skilled work. You will make it like the craftsmanship of the ephod. You will make it of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and of fine intertwined linen. Doubled, it is a square, its length is a span, and its width is a span. And you will fill stone settings in it, 4 rows of stones. A row of sardius, topaz, and emerald will be the first row. And the second row is garnet, sapphire, and diamond. And the third row is jacinth, agate, and amethyst. And the 4th row is beryl, and onyx, and jasper. They will be enclosed in gold settings. Moreover, the stones will be with the names of the 12 sons of Yeshariel, according to their names of the engravings of the signet. Each man's name will be according to the 12 tribes. And on the breastplate you will make chains at the ends of the work, weaved of pure gold. Also on the breastplate you will make 2 gold rings, and you will put the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. Then you will put the 2 woven gold chains in the 2 rings, which are on the ends of the breastplate. And you will fasten the other 2 ends of the 2 woven chains onto the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulders of the ephod, towards the front of its face. Moreover, you will make 2 gold rings, and put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate on its border, which is for the interior of the ephod. Then you will make 2 gold rings, and you will put them on the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod, underneath, towards the front of its surface, against its other coupling, from above the intricate girdle of the ephod. And they will bind the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod with blue lace, that it may be above the intricate girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate is not loosened from the ephod. And Aharon will bear the names of the sons of Yeshariel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart, when he goes into the holy place for a continual memorial before YHWH. Then you will give the breastplate of judgment, the aurim, lights, and the tumim, innocence. And it will be upon Aharon's heart when he goes in before YHWH. Thus Aharon will bear the judgment of the sons of Yeshariel upon his heart before YHWH continually. Furthermore, you will make the entire robe of the ephod blue, and there will be an opening for his head. The binding is in the middle. There will be woven work around the openings, like a habergeon. Then, upon its hem, you will make pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet round about its hem, and between them are golden bells round about, a golden bell and a pomegranate. A golden bell and a pomegranate will be upon the hem of the robe round about. Furthermore, it will be upon Aharon for serving. Therefore we will hear him when he goes into the holy before YHWH, and when he goes out, so that he does not die. Also you will make a plate of pure gold, and engrave upon it the engravings of a signet, Le Yehuah Kudesh, holy unto YHWH. And you will put a blue lace on it, that it may be upon the turban. It will be upon the forefront of the turban. Thus it will be upon Aharon's forehead, that Aharon may bear the iniquity of the holy things, which the children of Yeshariel will hallow in all their holy gifts. And it will always be upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before YHWH. And you will embroider the coat of fine linen, and you will make the turban of fine linen. But you will make the girdle from needlework. Furthermore, you will make the coats for the sons of Aharon, and you will make girdles for them, and you will make bonnets for them to glorify and honor. And you will put them upon Aharon, your brother, and his sons with him. Then you will anoint them, and you will be filled with power, and you will sanctify them, and they will minister unto me. Moreover, you will make them linen briefs to cover their nakedness. They will reach from the loins unto the thighs, and they will be upon Aharon and upon his sons when they come into the appointed tent, or when they come near the altar to serve in the holy, so that they do not bear iniquity and die. It will be a continual custom for him and for his seed after him.
Chapter 29.
And this is the thing that you will do to separate them for ministering unto me. Take 1 young bull and 2 rams without blemish. Also, with wheat flour you will make unleavened bread, and unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil. Furthermore, you will put them upon 1 basket, and you will bring with them in the basket the bull and the 2 rams. Then you will bring Aharon and his sons to the door of the appointed tent, and you will wash them with water. Next you will take the garments and dress Aharon with the undercoat, and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod, and the breastplate. Also you will gird him with the intricate girdle of the ephod. Furthermore, you will put the turban upon his head, and you will place the Nazer Kudesh, vow of holiness, upon the turban. Then you will take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head. Thus you will anoint him. Furthermore, you will bring his sons and put coats upon them, and you will gird them with girdles, Aharon and his sons, and you will bind headdresses upon them, and the priesthood will be unto them for a perpetual custom. Then you will fulfill the authority of Aharon and his sons, and you will present the bull before the appointed tent. Moreover, Aharon and his sons will put their hands upon the head of the bull, but you will kill the bull before YHWH by the door of the appointed tent. Then you will take the blood of the bull and put it upon the horns of the altar with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. Also, you will take all the fat that covers the innards, and the coal that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them. Then you will burn them upon the altar. However, the flesh of the bull, and its skin, and its dung, you will burn with fire outside the camp. This is a sin offering. Next, you will take 1 ram. Then Aharon and his sons will put their hands upon the head of the ram, but you will slay the ram. Then you will take its blood and sprinkle it upon the altar round about. Also, you will cut the ram into pieces and wash its entrails and its legs. Then you will put them upon its pieces and upon its head, and you will burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is an ascension offering unto YHWH. It is a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto YHWH. Next, you will take the other ram. Then Aharon and his sons will put their hands upon the head of the ram, but you will kill the ram. Then you will take its blood and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aharon, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And you will take the blood that is upon the altar, and the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aharon, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him. Thus he will become hallowed, and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. Furthermore, you will take the fat and the tail of the ram, and the fat that covers the innards, and the coal above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right thigh, for it is the ram of fulfillment. Also a round bread, and a pierced bread mingled with oil, and a wafer from the basket of unleavened bread, which is before YHWH. Thus you will put it in all the palms of Aharon, and in the palms of his sons. Moreover, you will shake them for a shake offering before YHWH. Then you will take them from their hands and burn them upon the altar for an ascension offering, to be a sweet savor before YHWH. It is a fire unto YHWH. Then you will take the breast of the ram of fulfillment that was for Aharon, and you will shake it for a shake offering before YHWH, and it will be your part. Therefore you will separate the breast of the shake offering. However, the thigh of the heave offering, which is shaken, and which is raised up from the ram of fulfillment, that is for Aharon and his sons. Thus it will be Aharon's and his sons, for a continual custom from the children of Yeshariel. For it is a heave offering, and it will be a heave offering from the children of Yeshariel, from the sacrifices of restoration that you will raise up unto YHWH. Furthermore, the holy garments which are for Aharon will become his sons after him, to be anointed in it, and to fulfill their authority with them. The son that is priest in his stead will put them on 7 days, when he comes into the appointed tent to minister in the holy. And you will take the ram of fulfillment and seethe its flesh in the holy place. Then Aharon and his sons will eat the flesh of the ram, and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the appointed tent. And they will eat those things which will atone within them for the fulfillment of their authority, for separating them. However, an unauthorized person will not eat of it, because it is holy. Moreover, if any flesh of the fulfillment or of the bread remains until morning, then you will burn the remainder with fire. It will not be eaten, for it will be separate. Thus you will do for Aharon and for his sons, according to all which I have commanded you. 7 days you will fulfill their authority. And every day you will offer a bull for a sin offering for atonement, and you will cleanse the altar. When you have made atonement for it, then you will anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days you will make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it. Then it will be an altar of the Holy of Holies. Whatever touches the altar will be holy. Now this is what you will offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. You will offer a lamb in the morning, and you will offer a lamb at evening. And with the first lamb there will be a 10th deal of flour mingled with a 4th part of a hin of pressed oil, and a 4th part of a hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb you will offer at evening, like the morning gift and drink offering. You will make it for a sweet savor by fire unto YHWH. This is a continual ascension offering throughout your generations, at the door of the appointed tent before YHWH, where I will meet with you to speak to you. Thus I will meet with the children of Yeshariel there, and we will be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the appointed tent and the altar. Also I will sanctify both Aharon and his sons to minister unto me. Furthermore, I will dwell among the children of Yeshariel, and I will be their Elohim. And they will know that I am he who exists, their Elohim, who brought them out from the land of Mitzrayim, that I may dwell among them. I am YHWH, their Elohim.
Chapter 30.
And you will make an altar to burn incense upon. You will make it of shittim wood. A cubit will be its length, and a cubit will be its width. It will be a square, and 2 cubits will be its height. Its horns will be the same, and you will overlay it with pure gold. The top of it, and the sides of it, round about, and the horns of it. Also you will make a gold crowning for it, round about. Then under its crowning, on the 2 sides, you will make 2 golden rings for it. You will make them for the 2 sides, and they will be for housing the staves, to carry it with them. And you will make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. Furthermore, you will put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the atonement's covering that is over the testimony, where I will meet with you. And Aharon will burn sweet incense on it every morning. When he tends the lamps, he will burn incense upon it. And when Aharon lights the lamps at evening, he will burn incense upon it, a continual incense before YHWH throughout your generations. You will not offer incense that is unauthorized on it, nor an ascension offering, nor gift offering, nor will you pour a drink offering upon it. However, Aharon will make an atonement upon its horns once during a year, with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once during the year, he will make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is a holy of holies unto YHWH. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, When you take the sum of the sons of Yeshariel, after their number, then every man will give a ransom for his soul unto YHWH when you number them, that there is no plague among you when you number them. This they will give, every one who passes among them, whom is numbered, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs. Half a shekel will be the offering unto YHWH. Every one who passes among those who are numbered from 20 years old and above will give an offering unto YHWH. The rich will not give more, and the poor will not give less than half a shekel when they give an offering unto YHWH, to make an atonement for your souls. Thus you will take the atonement money of the sons of Yeshariel and give it for the service of the appointed tent, that it may be a memorial for the sons of Yeshariel before YHWH, to make atonement for your souls. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, You will make a copper laver. Its copper base is for washing, and you will put it between the appointed tent and the altar. Therefore you will put water in it, for Aharon and his sons will wash their hands and their feet there. When they go into the appointed tent, they will wash their hands with water, so that they do not die, or when they come near the altar to minister, for the ascension offering made by fire unto YHWH. Thus they will wash their hands and their feet, that they do not die, and it will be a continual custom for them, for him and for his seed, throughout their generations. Moreover, YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Also take unto yourself top spices, 500 shekels of myrrh, and half of that, 250 shekels of sweet cinnamon, and 250 shekels of sweet calamus, and 500 shekels of cassia, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and a hin of olive oil. And you will make it a set-apart anointing oil, a perfume blend after the art of the apothecary. It will be a holy anointing oil. And with it you will anoint the appointed tent, and the ark of the testimony, and the table, and all its utensils, and the menorah, and its utensils, and the altar of incense, and the ascension offering altar with all its utensils, and the laver, and its base. And you will sanctify them, that they may be the holy of holies. Whatever touches them will be set apart. Then you will anoint Aharon and his sons. Therefore you will set them apart to minister unto me. And you will speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, This will be a holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generations. It will not be poured upon the flesh of Adam, and with its composition you will not make another like the holy. It will be set apart for you. Whoever blends like it, or whoever puts it upon an unauthorized person, will be cut off
Nor
from
shall
his
you
people.
magnify a poor
Then
man in
YHWH
his
said to
dispute.
Moshe, Take to yourself sweet spices, stocti, and anika, and galbanum, sweet spices with pure frankincense. Each will be of equal parts. Moreover, you will make it a perfume, a blend after the art of the apothecary, tempered together, pure and holy. Then you will crush some of it very small, and put it before the testimony in the appointed tent, where I will meet with you. There, in the Holy of Holies, you will have it for yourself. However, the perfume which you will make, you will not make for yourselves according to its composition. It will be set apart for you unto YHWH. Whoever will make it to smell it will be cut off from his people.
Chapter 31.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Behold, I have called Bezalel, the son of Auri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehuda, by name, and I have filled him with the Ruach of Elohim, in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, to devise skilled artistry, to work in gold, and in silver, and in copper, and in cutting stones to set them, and in carving timber, to work in all manner of craftsmanship. And I, behold, I have given with him Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and in the hearts of all who are wise-hearted in wisdom, that they may make all that I have commanded you, the appointed tent, and the ark of the testimony, and the atonement's covering that is upon it, and all the furniture of the tabernacle, and the table and its furnishings, and the pure menorah with all its utensils, and the altar of incense, and the altar of the ascension offering, and all its utensils, and the laver, and its base, and the woven garments, and the separate garments for Aharon, the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister, and the anointing oil, and sweet incense for the holy place. According to all that I have commanded you, they will do. Then YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, Furthermore, you will speak to the children of Yeshariel, saying, Truly, you will keep my Shabbats, for it is a sign between you and I, unto your generations, so that you may know that I am YHWH, who set you apart. Thus you will keep the Shabbat, for it is holy unto you. Everyone who defiles it will surely die, for whoever does work during it, that soul will be cut off from among his people. For 6 days work will be done, but during the 7th is the Shabbat of rest, holy unto YHWH. Whoever does any work in the day of Shabbat, surely he will die. Therefore the children of Yeshariel will keep the Shabbat, to observe the Shabbat throughout their generations, for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Yeshariel forever. For 6 days YHWH made the heavens and the earth. Yet on the 7th day he rested, and he was refreshed. When he was finished speaking to him upon Mount Sinai, then he gave the 2 tablets of the testimony to Moshe, tablets of stone that were written by the finger of Elohim.
Chapter 32.
And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mountain, the people gathered themselves together unto Aharon. Then they said to him, Get up, make us deities, that they may walk before us. As for this Moshe, the man who brought us up from the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him. Therefore Aharon said to them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters. Then bring them to me. So all the people broke off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aharon. Thus he received them by their hand, and he fashioned it with a carving tool. Therefore they made the mask of the calf. Then they said, Surely this is your deity, O Yeshariel, who brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim. And when Aharon saw it, he built an altar before it. Then Aharon made a proclamation and said, Tomorrow is the feast unto YHWH. Moreover, they rose up early on the morrow, and offered ascension offerings, and they brought peace offerings. Then the people sat down to eat and drink. Also, they rose up to play. Therefore YHWH said to Moshe, Get yourself down, for your people, who you brought from the land of Mitzrayim, are corrupted. Quickly turning from the way that I have commanded them, they have made for themselves a maskah of a calf, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed to it. Also they said, Surely this is the deity, O Yeshariel, who has brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim. Then YHWH said to Moshe, I have observed this people, and behold, they are a stiff-necked people. Now for my consolation. for his wrath was kindled with them. Thus I will consume them. Then I will make a great nation of you. Therefore Moshe besought Yehovah, his Elohim, and asked, Adonai, why has your wrath become so hot against your people, who you have brought forth from the land of Mitzrayim with great power and with a mighty hand? Why should the Mitzrayim speak and say, He brought them out for harm, to slay them in the mountains, and to rid them from the face of the Adamah? Turn from your fierce wrath, and relent this harm against your people. Remember Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yeshariel, your servants, whom you swore unto yourself, and said to them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heavens, and all this land that I have spoken of I will give to your seed, and they will inherit it forever. Therefore Yehovah was consoled for the harm that he spoke of doing to his people. Then Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written on both of their sides. They were written on one side and on the other. Thus the tablets were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim, engraved upon the tablets. Then when Yahushua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moshe, There is a noise of war in the camp. But he responded, It is not the shouts of victory, nor is it the noise of a cry from being overcome. Rather, I hear the sound of singing. And it came to pass, as soon as he came near the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. Then Moshe's anger became hot, and he cast the tablets out of his hands and broke them beneath the mount. Then he took the calf that they had made and burned it in the fire, and ground it into powder, and sprinkled it upon the face of the water, and made the children of Yeshariel drink it. And Moshe asked of Aharon, What did these people do to you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? Therefore Aharon said, Let not the anger of my Lord become hot. You know the people, that wickedness is in them. For they said to me, Make us deities, which will walk before us. As for this Moshe, the man who brought us up from the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him. Then I said to them, Whoever has any gold, let him break it off. So they gave it to me. Then I cast it into the fire, and out came this calf. And Moshe saw the people, for indeed Aharon was exposing unto shame with their uprising. So Moshe stood at the gate of the camp, and asked, Who is on the side of Yehovah? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Lehi gathered themselves together towards him. Then he said to them, Thus saith Yehovah, Elohim of Yeshariel, Every man put his sword by his side. Go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. Therefore the children of Lehi did according to the word of Moshe, and in that day there fell 3,000 men from the people. For Moshe said, Fulfill your authority today unto Yehovah, every man with his son and with his brother, that he may bestow an endowment upon you this day.
Chapter 33.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe said to the people, You have sinned a great sin. Now I will go up to Yehovah. Perhaps I will make an atonement for your sin. Then Moshe returned unto Yehovah and said, Oh, this people has sinned a great sin, and has made themselves deities of gold. Yet now will you forgive their sin? And if not, I pray you, blot me out of your supper, which you have written. Therefore YHWH said to Moshe, whoever has sinned against me, him I will blot out of my supper. Therefore go now, lead the people to the place which I have spoken to you. Behold, my malach will go before you. Nonetheless, in the day when I will visit their sin upon them. Thus YHWH plagued the people, because they made the calf which Aharon crafted. And YHWH said to Moshe, depart, go from here, you and the people whom you have brought up from the land of Mitzrayim, towards the land which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzhak, and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed I will give it. And I will send a malach before you, towards the land flowing with milk and honey. However, I will drive out the Canaani, the Amori, and the Hitti, and the Perizi, the Hiwi, and the Yebusi. For I will not go up in the midst of you, lest I consume you along the way, for you are a stiff-necked people. However, when the people heard these bad tidings, they mourned. Also, no man put ornaments upon himself. For YHWH had said to Moshe, say to the children of Yisrael, you are a stiff-necked people. In an instant I could come up in your midst and consume you. Now therefore, take off your ornaments from upon yourself, and I will decide what to do with you. So the children of Yisrael stripped themselves of their ornaments by the Mount Horeb. Also Moshe took the tent and pitched it outside the camp, afar off from the camp. And he called it the appointed tent. And it came to pass that everyone who sought YHWH went out to the appointed tent, which was outside the camp. Then it happened, when Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose up, and every man stood at his tent door, and watched the back of Moshe until he had gone into the tent. Thus it came to pass, as Moshe entered into the tent, the cloudy pillar descended, and stood by the door of the tent, and spoke to Moshe. Moreover, all the people saw the cloudy pillar stand by the tent door, and all the people rose up and worshipped, every man in his tent door. Furthermore, YHWH spoke to Moshe, like a man speaks to his friend, face to face. Then he turned again to the camp. However, his servant Yehoshua, the son of Nun, a young man, did not depart out of the tent. And Moshe said unto YHWH, behold, you said to me, bring up this people, but you have not let me know who you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name. Also, you have found grace in my sight. Now I pray you, if I have found grace in your sight, please show me your way. Now that I may know you, that I may find grace in your sight, and consider this nation your people. Then he said, my presence will depart, but I will give you consolation. Therefore he responded to him, if not with your presence, the ocean of people will not go up with us from here. And how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace in your sight? Is it not by you going with us, so that we will be separated, your people and I, from all the people who are upon the face of the Adamah? Therefore YHWH said to Moshe, I will do this thing also, which you have spoken, for you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name. Then he requested, I beseech you, show me your glory. Therefore he said, I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of YHWH before you, and I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy." Then he said, "You cannot see my face, for no Adam will see me and live." Moreover, YHWH said, "There is a place near me, and you will stand upon a rock. And it will come to pass, when my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock, and I will cover you with my palm while I pass by. Then I will take away my palm, and you will see my backside, but my face will not be seen." Furthermore, YHWH said to Moshe, "Cut yourself 2 stone tablets, like the first, and I will write upon these tablets the words that were in the first tablets, which you broke. Then be ready in the morning, and come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourself there unto me, on top of the mount. However, no man will come up with you, nor let any man be seen throughout all the mount. Neither let the flocks nor the herds feed before the mount."
Chapter 34.
And he, Moshe, cut 2 stone tablets like the first. Then Moshe rose up in the morning, and went up to Mount Sinai, as YHWH had commanded him. And he took the 2 stone tablets in his hand. Therefore YHWH descended in the cloud, and stood with him there. Also he proclaimed the name of YHWH. Thus YHWH passed by before him, and proclaimed his existence. YHWH, all, is merciful and gracious, long-suffering, and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, but not clearing the infant, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the 3rd and 4th generation. Therefore Moshe made haste, and bowed his head towards the earth, and worshipped. Then he said, "If now I have found grace in your sight, O Adonai, let my Lord, I pray you, go with us. For they are a stiff-necked people, yet pardon for our iniquity, and for our sin, and our inheritance." Therefore he replied, "Behold, I will make a covenant. Before all the people I will do marvels, such as has not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people who are among you will see the work of YHWH, for what I will do with you will be fearsome. Observe that which I command you this day. Behold, I will drive out before you the Amori, and the Canaani, and the Hitti, and the Perizi, and the Hiwi, and the Yebusi. Take heed to yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants from the land where you go, lest it is a trap in your midst. For you will destroy their altars, break their monuments, and cut down their Asherah, tree deity. For you will not worship any other deity, for YHWH is jealous of his name. All is jealous of it. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants from the land, and they go whoring after their deities, and do sacrifice unto their deities. Then call unto you, and you eat of his sacrifice. Or you take their daughters for your sons, and their daughters go whoring after their deities, and make your sons go whoring after their deities. You will not make for yourself a deity mask. The feast of Matzot, unleavened breads, you will keep. For 7 days you will eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, during the time of the month Abib. For in the month Abib you came out of Mitzrayim. All that opens the womb is mine. And from all your livestock you will remember the firstling of the ox and sheep. But the firstling of an ass you will redeem with a lamb. However, if you will not redeem it, then you must break its neck. You will redeem all the firstborn of your children, and none will appear before me empty. For 6 days you will work, and you will rest on the seventh day. You will rest during the plowing time and the harvest. And the feast of Shavuot, weeks, you will do for yourself during the firstfruits of the wheat harvest. Then the feast of Asip, ingathering, will complete the year. 3 times during the year, all of your men will appear before the Adon, YHWH, the Elohim of Yeshariel. For I will inherit nations from your presence and enlarge your borders. Also, a man will not desire your land when you ascend, appearing before YHWH, your Elohim, 3 times during the year. You will not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, nor will the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach be left until morning. The first of the firstfruits of your Adamah you will bring to the house of YHWH, your Elohim. You will not see the kid in his mother's milk. Then YHWH said to Moshe, you will write these words, for after the utterance of these words, I have made a covenant with you and with Yeshariel. Therefore, he was there with YHWH 40 days and 40 nights. He did not eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. And it came to pass, Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in Moshe's hand. When he came down from the mount, Moshe did not know that the skin of his face had rays, while he talked with him. Then, when Aharon and all the children of Yeshariel saw Moshe, behold, the skin of his face had rays, and they were afraid to come near him. So Moshe called to them. Therefore Aharon and all the rulers of the congregation returned to him. Then Moshe talked with them. Afterwards, all the children of Yeshariel came near. Then he commanded them all that YHWH had spoken to him in Mount Sinai. When Moshe was done speaking with them, he put a veil upon his face. But when Moshe went in before YHWH to speak with him, he took the veil off until he came out. Then he came out and spoke to the children of Yeshariel that which he commanded. And the children of Yeshariel saw the face of Moshe, that the skin of Moshe's face had rays. So Moshe put the veil upon his face again, until he went in to speak with him.
Chapter 35.
And Moshe gathered all the congregation of the children of Yeshariel together, and said to them, these are the words which YHWH has commanded to do. For 6 days work will be done, but on the 7th day there will be a holy day for you, a Shabbat of rest unto YHWH. Whoever does work in that day will die. You will not kindle a fire throughout your habitations upon the day of Shabbat. Then Moshe spoke to all the congregation of the children of Yeshariel, saying, this is the thing which YHWH commanded, saying, take from among yourselves an offering unto YHWH. Whoever has a generous heart, let him bring it, an offering of YHWH, gold and silver and copper, and fine linen, and goat hair dyed blue, purple, and scarlet, and ram skins dyed red, and skins dyed blue, and shittim wood, and oil for the light, and spices for anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod of the breastplate. And all wise-hearted among you will come and make all that YHWH has commanded, the tabernacle, its tent, and its covering, its toggles, and its boards, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets, the ark and its staves, the atonement's covering, and the veil of the covering, the table and its staves, and all its utensils, and the showbread, also the menorah for the light, and her utensils, and her lamps, and with the oil for the light, and the incense altar, and its staves, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the door at the entrance of the tabernacle, the altar of the ascension offering, with its copper grate, its staves, and all its utensils, the laver and its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars and its sockets, and the hanging for the door of the court, the stakes of the tabernacle, and the stakes of the court, and their cords, the service garments to do service in the holy, the separate garments for Aharon the priest, and the garments of his sons for ministering. Therefore all the congregation of the children of Yeshariel departed from the presence of Moshe. Then everyone whose heart stirred him up came, and everyone whom his ruach made willing brought the offering of Yahweh for the work of the appointed tent, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. Also they came, both men and women, as many as had a generous heart, and brought bracelets, and earrings, and rings, and tablets, all jewels of gold. And every man presented an offering of gold unto Yahweh. Moreover, every man with whom was found fine linen, and goat hair dyed blue, purple, and scarlet, and ram skins dyed red, and skins dyed blue, brought them. Everyone who offered an offering of silver and copper brought the offering of Yahweh, and every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. Furthermore, all the women who were wise-hearted spun with their hands, and brought that which they had spun, of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet, and of fine linen. Also all the women, being wise-hearted with their hands, spun goat hair. Moreover, the rulers brought onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod for the breastplate, and spice, and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Yeshariel brought a volunteer offering unto Yahweh, every man and woman, whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of work, which Yahweh had commanded to be made by the authority of Moshe. Then Moshe said to the children of Yeshariel, Behold, Yahweh has called by name Bezalel, the son of Aori, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah, and he has filled him with the Ruach of Elohim in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to design intricate works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in copper, and in the cutting of stones to set, and in carving wood to make all manner of intricate workmanship. Thus the instructions were put in the heart of him and Ahaliab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. He filled their heart with wisdom to do all manner of engraving work, and design, and embroidering with blue, and with purple, with scarlet, and with fine linen, and woven works of all methods, and the designing of skilled work.
Chapter 36.
And Bezalel and Ahaliab worked. So too did every wise-hearted man, in whom Yahweh put wisdom and understanding, to know how to work all manner of craftsmanship for the service of the sanctuary, according to all that Yahweh had commanded. Then Moshe called Bezalel and Ahaliab, and every wise-hearted man, in whose heart Yahweh put wisdom, everyone whose heart was stirred up to come do the work. And they received of Moshe all the offering which the children of Yeshariel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary, to make it. And they brought volunteer offerings to him every morning. Therefore all the wise men who worked all the work of the sanctuary came, each man with his work that they were making. Moreover, they spoke to Moshe, saying, "The people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which YHWH commanded to make." So Moshe gave a commandment, and they passed the proclamation throughout the camp, saying, "Let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary." Thus the people were restrained from bringing, for the supplies they had were sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. And every wise-hearted man among those who crafted the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of fine intertwined linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet. He made them cherubim of skilled craftsmanship. The length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of one curtain was 4 cubits. The curtains were all the same size. And he coupled the 5 curtains one to another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one to another. And he made blue loops on the edge of one curtain, from the selvage in the coupling. Likewise he made in the outermost side of another curtain, in the coupling of the second. He made 50 loops in one curtain, and he made 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which was in the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to another. And he used 50 gold toggles, and coupled the curtains one to another with the toggles. Thus it became one tabernacle. Also he made curtains of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle. He made 11 curtains of them. The length of a curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the width of a curtain. The 11 curtains were of the same size. Then he coupled 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. And he made 50 loops upon the outermost edge of the curtain in the coupling. And he made 50 loops upon the edge of the curtain which couples the second. And he made 50 copper toggles to couple the tent together, that it might be unified. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and above it were skins dyed blue. And he made boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. The length of a board was 10 cubits, and the width of a board was 1.5 cubits. A board had 2 tenons evenly spaced from one another. Thus he made for all the boards of the tabernacle. So he made all the boards of the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward. And he made 40 silver sockets under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for its 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for its 2 tenons. And their 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward he made 6 boards. And 2 boards he made for the corners of the tabernacle, in the 2 sides. And they were coupled underneath, and coupled together at the head of it, to one ring. Thus he did to both of them in both of the corners. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 silver sockets. Under every board was 2 sockets. Furthermore, he made bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the western side. Moreover, he made the middle bar to shoot through the boards from one end to the other. And he overlaid the boards with gold, and made their rings of gold, to be places for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. Then he made a veil of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen. And he crafted the cherubim of skilled work. Also he made its 4 pillars of shitham, and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were gold, and he cast for them 4 silver sockets. Furthermore, he made a hanging for the tabernacle door of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen of needlework. Also its 5 pillars with their hooks. Then he overlaid their capitals and bands with gold, but their 5 sockets were copper.
Chapter 37.
And Bezalel made the ark of shitham wood. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits was its width, and 1.5 cubits was its height. Then he overlaid it with pure gold, within and without, and made it a gold crowning round about. And he cast 4 gold rings for it, by its 4 corners. 2 rings were upon one side, and 2 rings were upon its other side. Also he made staves of shitham wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, to carry the ark. Furthermore he made the atonement's covering of pure gold. 2.5 cubits was its length, and 1.5 cubits was its width. And he made 2 cherubim of gold, beaten of one piece. He made them on the 2 ends of the atonement's covering. 1 cherub was on the end of this side, and another cherub was on the end of that side. He made the cherubim on its 2 ends. And the cherubim spread out their wings on high. Their wings shielded over the atonement's covering, with their faces one to another. The faces of the cherubim were towards the atonement's covering. And he made the table of shitham wood. 2 cubits was its length, and 1 cubit was its width, and 1.5 cubits was its height. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made a gold crowning for it round about. Also he made a border, a hand's width round about. And he made a gold crowning for its border round about. And he cast 4 gold rings for it, and put the rings upon the 4 corners that were at its 4 legs. Over against the border were the rings, the housings for the staves to carry the table. Also he made the staves of shitham wood, and overlaid them with gold, to carry the table. Then he made the utensils which were upon the table, its dishes, and its ladles, and its pouring vessels were pure gold. Furthermore he made the menorah of pure gold. He made the menorah of beaten work. Its handles and its branches, its bowls, its knots, and its flowers were of the same. And 6 branches went out of the sides of it. 3 branches of the menorah went out one side of it, and 3 branches of the menorah went out the other side of it. 3 bowls were made after the fashion of almonds in one branch, a knop and a flower. And 3 bowls made like almonds in another branch, a knop and a flower. Such were the 6 branches going out of the menorah. And in the menorah were 4 bowls made like almonds, its knops, and its flowers. And there was a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. Their knops and their branches were of the same. All of it was one beaten work of pure gold. Also he made its 7 lamps, and its snuffers, and its snuff dishes of pure gold. He made it and all the utensils of it of a talent of pure gold. Furthermore, he made the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was 1 cubit, and the width of it was 1 cubit, square, and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns were of the same, and he overlaid it with pure gold, the top of it and the sides of it round about, and the horns of it. Also he made a gold crowning for it round about, and he made 2 gold rings for it under its crowning, by its 2 corners, upon its 2 sides, to be housings for the staves to carry it. And he made the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. Also he made the holy anointing oil, and the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary.
Chapter 38.
And he made the altar of ascension offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length of it, and 5 cubits was the width of it, square, and 3 cubits was the height of it. Also he made its horns on the 4 corners of it. Its horns were the same, and he overlaid it with copper. And he made all the utensils of the altar, the pots and the shovels and the basins, the flesh hooks and the fire pans. All of its utensils he made of copper. And he made the altar a copper grate, a grid beneath its rim towards its middle. Also he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the copper grate to house the staves. And he made the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with copper. And he put the staves into the rings on the sides of the altar to carry it. He made the altar with hollow boards. Then he made the copper laver, and its copper base had a mirage of the armies that are assembled at the door of the appointed tent. And he made the court on the south side southward. The court hangings were 100 cubits of fine intertwined linen. It had 20 pillars, and it had 20 copper sockets. The pillars' hooks and their bands were silver. And the north side was 100 cubits. It had 20 pillars, and it had 20 copper sockets. The pillars' hooks and their bands were silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits. It had 10 pillars, and it had 10 sockets. The pillars' hooks and their bands were silver. And the east side, eastward, was 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side was 15 cubits. It had 3 pillars, and it had 3 sockets. And for the other side of the court gate, on this hand and that hand were hangings of 15 cubits. It had 3 pillars, and it had 3 sockets. All the hangings of the court round about were of fine intertwined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were copper. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and the overlaying of their capitals were silver, and all the pillars of the court were banded with silver. And the hanging of the gate of the court was fine intertwined linen with needlework of blue and purple and scarlet, and its length was 20 cubits, and its height with its width was 5 cubits, relative to the hangings of the court. And it had 4 pillars, and it had 4 copper sockets. Its hooks were silver, and the overlaying of its capitals and their bands were silver. Also all the stakes of the tabernacle and of the court round about were copper. This is the sum of the tabernacle of the testimony, which was counted according to the commandment of Moshe. The service of the Lehuim by the hand of Itmar, son of Aharon the priest, and Bezalel, the son of Auri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehuda, made all that Yehu commanded Moshe. And with him was Aholiab, son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a skilled workman, and an embroiderer in blue, and in purple, and in scarlet, and fine linen. All the gold used for the work in all the workings of the holy, the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of those who were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,777 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah for every man, half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one who went to be numbered, from 20 years old and upward, for 603,550. And from the 100 talents of silver, the sockets of the sanctuary were cast, and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets from the 100 talents, a talent for each socket. And of the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their capitals, and banded them. And the copper of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And with it he made the sockets for the door of the appointed tent, and the copper altar, and for its copper grate, and all the utensils of the altar, and the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the court gate, and all the stakes of the tabernacle, and all the stakes of the court round about.
Chapter 39.
And from blue, and purple, and scarlet, they made the service garments, to do service in the holy. And they made the separate garments for Aharon, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he made the ephod of fine intertwined linen, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet. Also they beat gold into thin plates, and cut wires to work into the blue, and into the purple, and into the scarlet, and in the designed work of the fine linen. They made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together. It was coupled together by its two edges. And the intricate girdle of the ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to its work, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine intertwined linen, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Also they worked onyx stones enclosed in gold settings, engraved like signets are engraved, with the names of the children of Yeshariel. Then he put the stones on the shoulders of the ephod for a memorial to the children of Yeshariel, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Moreover, he made the breastplate of skilled work, like the work of the ephod, fine intertwined linen, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet. It was square. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length of it, and a span was the width of it, doubled. And they set 4 rows of stones in it. A row had a sardius, a topaz, and an emerald. This was the first row. And the second row, a garnet, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper, enclosed in gold settings in their mountings. Moreover, the stones were according to the 12 names of the children of Yeshariel. The engravings of the signet were according to their names. Everyone with his name was according to the 12 tribes. And upon the breastplate they made chains at the ends, woven work of pure gold. And they made 2 gold settings and 2 gold rings. Then they put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 woven chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. Then they fastened the two ends of the two woven chains into the two settings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. Also they made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon its border, which was on the inward side of the ephod. Then they made 2 golden rings, and they put both of them on the underside of the ephod, towards the front of it, near its coupling, above the intricate girdle of the ephod. And they bound the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a blue lace, that it might be above the intricate girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosened from the ephod, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he made the robe of the ephod a woven work, all blue. And there was an opening in the midst of the robe, like the opening of a habergeon. There was a band around the opening, so that it would not tear. And upon the hems of the robe they made pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet intertwined. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates, upon the hem of the robe round about, between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, for ministering, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And they made coats of fine linen, of woven work for Aharon and for his sons, and a turban of fine linen, and headdressings of fine linen, and breeches of fine intertwined linen, and a girdle of fine intertwined linen, with needlework in blue and purple and scarlet, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And they made the gold plate of the Nazir Kudesh of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing, the engraving of a signet, Kudesh unto YHWH. And they tied a blue lace to it, to fasten it on high upon the turban, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Also all the work of the tabernacle of the appointed tent was finished. And the children of Yeshariel did according to all that YHWH commanded Moshe. Thus they did. And they brought the tabernacle to Moshe, the tent, and all of its furnishings, its toggles, its boards, its bars, and its pillars, and its sockets, and the covering of ram skins, dyed red, and the covering of skins dyed blue, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, and its staves, and the atonement's covering, the table, all its utensils, and the showbread, the pure menorah, its lamps, the lamps to be set in order, and all its utensils, and the oil for light, and the gold altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the copper altar, and its copper grate, its staves, and all its utensils, the laver, and its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars, and its sockets, and the hangings of the court gate, its cords, and its stakes, and all the utensils of the tabernacle service for the appointed tent, the ministry garments for ministering in the holy, and the separate garments for Aharon the priest, and his sons' garments for ministering. Thus the children of Yeshariel made all the work, according to all that YHWH commanded Moshe. Then Moshe looked upon all the work, and behold, they did as YHWH commanded. Thus they did, and Moshe endowed them.
Chapter 40.
And YHWH spoke to Moshe, saying, On the first day of the first month you will set up the tabernacle of the appointed tent, and you will put the ark of the testimony in it, and screen the ark with the veil. And you will bring in the table, and set in order the things that are to be set in order upon it, and you will bring in the menorah, and light its lamps. Also, you will set the gold altar for the incense before the ark of the testimony, and place the door hanging for the tabernacle. Then you will set the altar of the ascension offering before the door of the tabernacle of the appointed tent, and you will set the laver between the appointed tent and the altar, and you will put water in it, and you will set up the court round about, and hang up the hanging at the court gate. Furthermore, you will take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is in it. And you will separate it, and all its utensils. Thus it will be holy. Also, you will anoint the altar of the ascension offering, and all its utensils, and sanctify the altar, and it will be an altar of the Holy of Holies. And you will anoint the laver and its base, and sanctify it. Furthermore, you will bring Aharon and his sons to the door of the appointed tent, then wash them with water. Also, you will put the separate garments upon Aharon, and anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me. Then you will bring his sons, and clothe them in coats. And you will anoint them, as you anointed their father, that they may minister unto me. For surely their anointing for ministry will be eternal throughout their generations. Therefore Moshe did according to all that YHWH commanded him. Thus he did. And it came to pass during the 1st month in the 2nd year, on the 1st of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. Therefore Moshe reared up the tabernacle, and fastened its sockets, and set up its boards, and put in its bars, and reared up its pillars. And he spread abroad the tent over the tabernacle, and put the covering of the tent above it, as YHWH commanded Moshe. Also he took and put the testimony into the ark, and set the staves on the ark, and he put the atonement covering upon the top of the ark. Then he brought the ark into the tabernacle, and set up the veil of the covering, and screened the ark of the testimony, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he put the table in the appointed tent, on the northern side of the tabernacle, outside the veil. And he set the bread in order upon it before YHWH, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he put the menorah in the appointed tent, opposite the table, on the southern side of the tabernacle. And he lighted the lamps before YHWH, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he put the golden altar in the appointed tent before the veil. And he burnt sweet incense upon it, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he set up the hanging at the door of the tabernacle. And he put the altar of the ascension offering by the door of the tabernacle of the appointed tent. Then he offered the ascension offering and the gift offering upon it, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he set the laver between the meeting tent and the altar, and there he put water to wash. Thus Moshe and Aharon and his sons washed their hands and feet there. They washed when they went into the appointed tent, and when they came near to the altar, as YHWH commanded Moshe. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the hanging of the court gate. Thus Moshe finished the work. Then a cloud covered the appointed tent, and the glory of YHWH filled the tabernacle. However, Moshe was not able to enter into the meeting tent, because the cloud abode upon it, and the glory of YHWH filled the tabernacle. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Yisrael went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not journey until the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of YHWH was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was upon it by night, in the sight of all the house of Yisrael, throughout all their journeys.